Introduction. The speed of the spirit. If this frequency has reached your ears, it is not a coincidence. In the universe of energy, coincidence does not exist. Only synchronicity exists. Your soul has remembered something fundamental, something that your logical mind had forgotten, and it has brought you here to reclaim it. It is your time to wake up and see the truth. You have been taught to wait. From the moment you were born, you were programmed with the belief that transformation is a slow process. They told you that healing takes time, that building wealth requires decades of sacrifice, that finding love is a matter of luck. They have convinced you that there is a massive distance between you and your desires. I am here to tell you that they have lied to you. Time is a persistent illusion of the senses. In the plane of the spirit, that real place where you come from, the distance between desire and manifestation is zero. What the world calls a miracle is not a violation of the laws of physics. It is not magic or a whim of a distant god. A miracle is simply higher physics. It is the master use of universal laws that most people ignore. It is the exact moment when your internal energy, your thoughts, your emotions, and your biology aligns with such geometric perfection that the universe has no other choice but to respond instantly. It is an inevitable reaction. Think about it. Have you ever had a day where everything flowed, where you thought of someone and they called you, where you needed a solution and it appeared out of nowhere? That was not luck. That was a flash of your true power. It was an instant of coherence. You were aligned with the source of all that is and will be. In this audiobook, we are not going to learn how to make wishes. He who asks affirms that he does not have, and the universe only gives you more of what you already are. Here, we are not going to beg. We are going to command. We are not going to wait for the future to change. We are going to change the now. It is your command. You are going to discover that you are not a victim of circumstances. You are the system operator. You will learn to collapse the wave of probabilities. You will learn that faith is not believing without seeing. Faith is seeing the invisible with such clarity that the visible has no choice but to obey. You are the master of reality. Are you willing to let go of your old identity? Are you willing to stop being the seeker to become the finder? The journey begins here, and the speed of your transformation depends only on your willingness to accept your own divinity. Prepare yourself, for nothing will ever be the same again. You are entering the realm of the spirit. Chapter 1. The Anatomy of the Miracle. To begin this journey, we must perform an act of creative destruction. Before we can build the palace of instant manifestation, we must demolish the shacks of superstition. We must cleanse your mind of the wrong definition that society has imposed on you regarding what a miracle is. It is time to start fresh with the truth of existence. Most human beings live under the hypnosis that a miracle is a violation of natural laws. They believe it is a whimsical event, a magical interruption where God, or the universe, momentarily decides to break the rules of reality to favor someone. This belief is dangerous. It is dangerous because it places the power outside of you. If you believe the miracle is an exception to the rule, then you become a beggar waiting for the cosmic lottery to hit you. You spend your life waiting, praying with desperation, and feeling unworthy when the sky seems to remain silent. But I am here to tell you that the miracle is not a violation of the law. The miracle is the supreme fulfillment of the law. Imagine for a moment a caveman transported to the 21st century. If that man saw you take a small glass rectangle out of your pocket, touch it with your finger, and talk to someone on the other side of the planet, or watch an orchestra playing in real time, he would fall to his knees. He would scream that it is magic. He would say it is a miracle. To him, what you just did breaks all the rules of his reality. But you and I know there is no magic in a smartphone. There is technology. There is a deep knowledge of the laws of electromagnetism, radio waves, transistors, and satellites. No physical law has been violated. Higher laws were used. What we call a miracle is exactly the same. It is a technology. It is the application of laws of the physics of consciousness and energy dynamics that conventional science is barely beginning to scratch, but which the masters of all ages have known and practiced. The miracle is what inevitably happens when you stop operating under the laws of dense matter. The miracle happens when you start operating under the laws of subtle energy. Therefore, the first truth you must engrave in your subconscious is this: the miracle is natural. Sickness, poverty, loneliness, and chaos are what is unnatural. They are distortions. They are errors in the transmission of the signal. Perfect health is the default. Abundant supply and joy are the default state of the universe. When you remove the interference, the miracle is not something you do, it is something you are. The miracle is the water returning to its channel when you remove the stone that was blocking it. Let's dissect the anatomy of this event. What is a miracle made of? If we could put a miracle under a spiritual microscope, what would we see? We would see above all a perfect geometric alignment. We would see coherence. The universe you live in is not solid. This is no longer mysticism. It is basic quantum physics. If you take your hand and put it under a powerful microscope, you will see cells. If you look inside the cells, you will see molecules. Inside the molecules, atoms. And if you look inside the atom, expecting to find a solid little ball of matter, you will be surprised. There is nothing. 99.9999999% of the atom is empty space. And what remains, those subatomic particles we call electrons or quarks, are not things. They are vortices of energy. They are probabilities. They are frequencies vibrating. You are not a physical body in a physical world. You are a field of energy vibrating in an ocean of energy. The only reason you look solid and separate from the chair you are sitting on is because you vibrate at a specific frequency. Your senses interpret that vibration as texture and solidity. It is like an airplane propeller. When it is still, you can see through it. You can put your hand between the blades. But when it spins at thousands of revolutions per minute, it becomes a solid disk. If you try to put your hand in, it will cut it. Speed creates the illusion of solidity. The miracle occurs when you learn to alter that speed. When you learn to modify the frequency of your own energy field to match the frequency of the reality you wish to experience. Here enters the concept of the chain reaction. Think of your current life as a set of dominoes that have already fallen. It is the past. Your current bank account, your current health, your current relationships are the result of an energy you emitted yesterday, last month, 10 years ago. They are old energy frozen in matter. Most people make the fatal mistake of trying to change their lives by manipulating the fallen tiles. They try to fix matter with matter. They work more hours to have more money. They take more pills to have more health. They argue more to be more right. That is slow. That is exhausting. That is operating under Newtonian laws of linear cause and effect. The miracle ignores the fallen tiles. The miracle goes to the origin of the vibration. It goes to the source. The anatomy of a miracle is composed of three fundamental elements that must merge in a single instant of time: thought, emotion, and expectancy. Thought is the electrical signal. It is the direction. It is the steering wheel of the car. When you think, "I want to heal," you are sending a signal to the quantum field. But thought alone is weak. How many times have you thought about being rich and nothing happened? Why? Because the thought is only the information, but it lacks propulsion. Emotion is the magnetic signal. It is the fuel. It is the engine. Emotion is what attracts reality toward you. It is the magnet. If you think, "I want to be rich," but feel fear of poverty, or feel that you don't deserve it, your magnetic signal is poverty, and the universe, which does not listen to what you say but what you feel, will bring you more poverty. Emotion is the charge that gives weight to the wave. It determines the outcome. The third element, and the most elusive, is expectancy or certainty. It is the state of "it is done." It is the total absence of resistance. An instant miracle occurs when your thought, the clear vision of what you want, and your emotion, the elevated joy of already having it, unite without the interference of doubt. In that precise nanosecond, an explosion of coherence occurs. Your electromagnetic field aligns. You stop emitting a signal of static noise and start emitting a laser signal. Let's talk about this laser. Imagine a common 100-watt light bulb. It illuminates a small room, dispersing its energy in all directions. It is diffuse light. Now take those same 100 watts of energy, but align the photons so they all travel in the same direction, in the same phase, in perfect synchrony. You have created a laser. That same 100-watt laser can cut through steel. The energy is the same, The difference is the coherence. You are that light bulb, your energy is scattered. Part of you wants prosperity, but another part believes money is bad. Part of you wants love, but another part fears being hurt. Part of you wants health, but another part uses sickness to get attention or rest. You are incoherent. Your energy cancels itself out. That is why you don't see miracles. Your life is a struggle. The anatomy of the miracle requires you to become a human laser. It requires you to unify your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your heart into a single arrow of intention. When you achieve this, even for a second, physical reality does not have the structural strength to resist your command. It folds. It reorganizes itself. Impossible events happen. The tumor disappears, the money arrives, the phone rings. But here we must face the great adversary of the miracle, the illusion of chance. We have been educated to believe in luck. We say, "How lucky he was," or "How unlucky I am." You must erase luck today. Luck is the name the ignorant give to the law of cause and effect when they cannot see the cause. In a universe governed by precise mathematical laws, chance is impossible. If you toss a coin, the result is not chance. It is the result of the force applied, wind resistance, gravity, and the height of the fall. If you could calculate all those variables, you would know the result with 100% accuracy. The same occurs with your life. You are not sick by chance. You are not broke by chance. You are experiencing the precise manifestation of your predominant frequency. This may sound harsh because it removes the victim role. But in reality, it is the most liberating news you will ever receive. Because if you created your disaster through ignorance, you can create your paradise through wisdom. If there is no chance, then there is control. And if there is control, there is hope. The miracle then is simply the sudden change of your frequency. It is like changing the radio station. If you are listening to a station of sad music and static, you don't try to get inside the radio to change the musical notes with a screwdriver. You simply turn the dial. The moment you turn the dial, the sad music disappears instantly and joyful music begins to play. Where did the sad music go? Nowhere. It still exists in its frequency, but you are no longer there. Instant miracles are dial changes. They do not require time. Changing frequency does not take hours. It takes a decision. Time is only the measure of your resistance to change. It is your own delay. If it takes you 10 years to heal, it is because it took you 10 years to let go of the frequency of sickness and tune into the frequency of health. But the healing itself, the energetic change, is always instant. Now, let's go deeper into the raw material of the miracle. Matter is densified energy. It is light that has lowered its vibration until it becomes visible. Imagine water vapor. It is invisible. If you lower its vibration, cool it, it becomes liquid water. If you lower its vibration more, it becomes solid ice. Ice is the same as vapor, only vibrating slower. Your desires are vapor, they are real. They exist in the mental plane. They have shape and structure in the fifth dimension of imagination. The process of the miracle is the process of condensing that vapor until it becomes ice into physical experience. How is it condensed? With sustained attention and elevated emotion. It is a formula. Attention is the cooling mechanism. When you observe a quantum possibility, for example, you being financially free, and sustain that observation without being distracted by current reality, you start to freeze that wave. You start to give it density. The more intense your emotion, the faster it freezes into form. The problem is that most people do the opposite. They observe their current reality, the ice, and complain about it. Look at my debts, look at my pain. By observing the ice with negative emotion, they keep it frozen. They perpetuate it. They are using the anatomy of the miracle against themselves. They are creating negative miracles every day. They are manifesting exactly what they don't want with amazing precision. Understanding the anatomy of the miracle is understanding that you are a constant alchemist. You are never resting from creating. Even when you sleep, your frequency is emitting. Even when you doubt, you are creating more reasons to doubt. The universe is a giant photocopying machine that has no off button. It is constantly scanning your state of being and delivering physical copies of what you carry inside. Therefore, the first step is not to do something outside, but to stop the bleeding inside. You have to stop reacting to the world. You have to withdraw your attention from the screens of reality that you do not like. I know it is difficult. I know the pain seems very real. I know the bills are there. But if you keep looking at the bills and feeling anguish, you are signing a cosmic contract for more bills. The miracle requires a kind of divine madness. It requires you to deny the evidence of your senses, to affirm the truth of your spirit. It requires you to walk through fire without being burned, because you know the fire is an illusion. The great masters who walked on water had a superior understanding of reality. They knew that bread was not a solid object, but a grouping of energy obedient to consciousness. They knew that water responded to the vibration of faith. They did not look at lack. They looked at provision. And because they looked at provision with absolute certainty, the universe collapsed the wave of lack instantly. You have that same power. It is asleep under layers of logic, fear, and social conditioning. They have told you to be realistic. They have told you to keep your feet on the ground. I tell you, put your head in the sky. Reality is something created, not something endured. You are the source of your world. In this chapter, we have established the foundation. Now you know that the miracle is spiritual technology. You know it depends on your coherence. You know that chance does not exist and that you are the operator. But knowing it intellectually is not enough. You need to know where these miracles occur. There is an invisible field that surrounds you at this very moment. A field where all versions of your life exist simultaneously. A field where you are already a millionaire, where you are already healthy, where you are already happy. You don't have to create those versions. They are already there in the ether. That place is called the field of infinite possibilities, and that is where we will go in the next chapter. We are going to learn to navigate the quantum ocean. We are going to learn to select our destiny instead of suffering it. The anatomy is clear. Alignment, attention, emotion. Now let's learn how to apply it. Chapter 2. The Field of Infinite Possibilities. Look around you. What do you see? You probably see walls, furniture, perhaps a window, the sky, or other people. Your logical mind, trained by years of survival in matter, tells you that what you see is reality. It tells you that the space between you and the wall is empty. It tells you that air is just the absence of objects. It tells you that the world is a fixed, solid, and finished stage, where you are a small actor who has arrived late to the play. That is the great optical illusion. That is the sensory lie that keeps you trapped in lack. What your eyes perceive as empty space is not empty. It is full, it is dense, it is vibrating right now. You are swimming right now in an invisible ocean of intelligent energy. You are submerged in a quantum soup of information that connects every point in the universe with every other point. Physicists call it the quantum field. Mystics call it the Akasha. We will call it the field of infinite possibilities. It is your true home. Understanding this field is the difference between living as a creature and living as a creator. Imagine that you enter a gigantic library, one that has no ceiling or end walls. In this library there are no books, there are scripts, millions and millions of scripts. Each script tells a different story about your life and your future path. In one script you continue with your current problems, grow old and die with regret. In another script you make a different decision tomorrow and your life improves a little. But there is another script, filed on the same shelf, where you are miraculously healed of an incurable disease. There is another where a brilliant idea occurs to you. There is another where you find the love of your life on a street corner. The key question is, are those scripts real, or are they just fantasies? In the field of infinite possibilities, those scripts are already real. They are not metaphors. They are not imaginations. They are parallel realities that exist in this precise moment. They exist in the form of an energy wave. The version of you that is immensely rich and happy is not a future dream. It is a current frequency. That version of you exists right now, occupying the same space as you, but vibrating at a different speed. It is like radio waves. In the room where you are now, there are waves. There are radio waves transmitting classical music, news, rock, jazz, and silence. All are here crossing your body at this instant, but you only listen to one. Why? because your internal tuner is only picking up one frequency. If you are listening to the Poverty FM station, you can scream and cry, but you will still hear poverty. The problem is not that the music of wealth does not exist. The problem is that you are not tuned into it. The field of infinite possibilities is the container of all frequencies. It is the divine matrix, and it has a fundamental characteristic that you must understand to operate miracles. The field is neutral. It does not judge you. To the field, you don't matter. This sounds harsh, but it is the greatest blessing. The field does not judge you. It does not say, "This person has suffered a lot. Let's give them a break." Nor does it say, "This person has been bad. Let's punish them." The field functions like a high-fidelity mirror. If you stand in front of it and cry, it reflects you. If you smile, the mirror does not congratulate you. It reflects you smiling. The field simply says, "Yes." If you say life is hard, the field says, "Yes, it is," and organizes events to confirm that life is hard. If you say, "I am a magnet for miracles," the field says, "Yes, you are," and moves mountains to prove it to you. The secret of instant miracles lies in understanding that you do not have to create anything. Take that weight off your shoulders. Creation is already finished. When the Bible says it is finished, it refers to this. Every possible variation of existence has already been created and exists in a latent state in the field. You do not have to manufacture health. Health already exists. You do not have to build wealth atom by atom. Wealth already exists. Your job is not to create. Your job is to select. To live is to choose. But most choose by default, choose by memory, choose the same thing they chose yesterday. The miracle is a selection. It is a conscious and radical choice of a possibility that already exists in the field, but has not materialized in your sensory experience. Let's go deeper into how this selection works. How do you grab that floating possibility and bring it to Earth? You do not do it with your hands, you do it with your electromagnetic signature. You are a walking transmission antenna. Your brain emits an electrical signal toward the field, your thoughts and intentions. Your heart emits a magnetic signal toward the field, your emotions and feelings. The combination of what you think and what you feel creates a footprint, a unique energetic barcode that you transmit. The field of infinite possibilities responds to that barcode by the law of resonance. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you want money but feel anguish over debts, your combined signal is lack of money. And the field connects you with the timeline of lack. You are attracting your own feelings. The miracle occurs when you hack this signal, when you are able to feel the gratitude of wealth before the money arrives, when you are able to feel the euphoria of health while physical symptoms are still there. This defies human logic. Logic says, seeing is believing. The field says, believing is seeing. You must understand that the field is a non-local environment. This means that space and time do not operate there as they operate here. In your daily life, to go from your house to work, you have to cross space, and it takes you time. There is a distance. In the field, there is no distance. Everything is in an eternal here. Everything is in a continuous now. Your desire is not far away. It is not in the future. It is superimposed on your current reality, separated only by a veil of frequency. Imagine that you are in a dark room with a flashlight. You point the light at a corner and see an old broken chair. You think that is all there is. But if you turn the flashlight to the right, you illuminate a treasure chest that was always there but was in the dark. Your attention is the flashlight. The field is full of objects, events, and destinations. Your attention gives life to that on which it focuses. For years you have kept your flashlight pointing at your problems. You have collapsed the wave of those realities over and over until making them seem solid like cement. You have given them so much energy of attention that they have taken on a life of their own. The art of the instant miracle is the art of turning off the flashlight on what you do not want and turning it on for what you do. But be careful. The field is extremely sensitive. It does not respond to crude manipulation. It responds to vibratory truth. You cannot deceive the field. You cannot pretend to be happy if inside you are terrified. The signal must be clean. The signal must be coherent. This is where the quantum observer concept comes in. In physics experiments, it was discovered that subatomic particles behave differently when observed. If you don't look at them, they are waves, possibilities. If you look at them, they become particles, matter. The electron exists as a cloud of potential until a consciousness observes it. In that moment, it collapses into a point. Your life is that giant electron. Your finances are a wave of possibilities. They can go up, down, or stagnate. But you look at them every morning with concern. You check the bank account with fear. You talk about the crisis. You are observing lack. And by observing it, you force the field to collapse the possibility of poverty. You are the one freezing the crisis in place with your own gaze. What would happen if you stopped observing current reality? What would happen if you withdrew your attention from the tumor, the debt, the loneliness? I know what you are thinking. If I ignore my debts, they will foreclose. I'm not saying be irresponsible. Pay your bills, go to the doctor. Do what you have to do in 3D. But withdraw your emotional energy from the problem. Do what is necessary, but do not give it your soul. Do not give it your fear. Do not give it your conversations. Do not give it your insomnia. Treat the problem as irrelevant data, as a residue of an old creation. And simultaneously, start observing the new reality in your mind with such passion, with so many sensory details, that the field starts receiving a new order. In the field of infinite possibilities, imagination is the chisel of reality. But not the weak, I wish imagination. I am talking about holographic imagination. Close your eyes. Imagine an apple. Can you see its color? Can you feel its weight in your hand? Can you smell it? Can you bite it and feel the juice bursting in your mouth? Can you hear the crunch? If you manage to do this with enough intensity, your brain and body do not know the difference. Your body begins to salivate. In that moment, you have made contact with the field. You have selected the apple's timeline. Now substitute the apple for your healing, or for the check you need. If you can make it real in the inner field, the outer field has no choice but to reflect it. It is the law. The greatest obstacle you will find are your senses. Your eyes, your ears, your touch, they are wonderful liars. Your senses are designed to navigate in the past. Yes, you heard right. What you see right now is the past. The light from the stars you see in the sky took millions of years to arrive. Perhaps that star already died, but you still see it. It's an old image. In the same way, your current reality, your body, your house, is old light. It is the result of your thoughts and emotions from months or years ago. It is a wake you left behind. If you react to what you see, you are perpetuating the past. You are recycling the same life. The creator of miracles lives in the unseen. He lives in the inner vision. He knows that physical reality has a delay. He knows that he has already changed the signal in the field, and that it is a matter of time before matter reorganizes itself. He does not despair when he does not see immediate results in the mirror, because he knows the mirror reflects with delay. He stays firm in the new frequency. He holds the vision. He insists. And suddenly, boom, the threshold is broken, critical mass is reached, and physical reality changes suddenly to match the internal reality. That is the instant miracle. You must start seeing the world not as things, but as data, information. The chair is not a chair. It is a cluster of data vibrating as chair. Your disease is not a biological sentence. It is a distorted data pattern. And data can be rewritten. It can be updated. It can be erased. The field of infinite possibilities is your operating system. You have administrator privileges. Use them. But you have been operating as a guest user, limited by the pre-installed rules of society. It is time to enter the administrator codes. To navigate this field, you need to develop a quality that has been forgotten: fluidity. Water takes the form of the container. The field takes the form of your deepest beliefs. If your beliefs are rigid, this is impossible, life is hard, I am like this. The field freezes in those forms. To manifest miracles, you must become liquid. You must be willing to let go of who you think you are. You must be willing to enter uncertainty. People fear the unknown, but that is where miracles are. In the known, there is only the repetition of the past. If you want something new, you have to go where you have never been. You have to stop being you to become pure consciousness. When you enter deep meditation and forget your name, your body, your time, and your space, you become no one. You are just a point. And when you are no one, you are pure consciousness immersed in the field. In that black and fertile void, you are more powerful than ever. That is where you select your new destiny. That is where you plant the seed, and when you return to your body, you are no longer the same. You bring a new electromagnetic charge. The world, like a faithful dog, catches the new scent and begins to behave differently with you. Coincidences begin to happen. Doors open. The right people appear. You have not forced it. You have not struggled. You have simply gone to the warehouse of creation, made your order with conviction, and come back. Do not underestimate the power of this knowledge. You are connected to a network of energy capable of creating galaxies. Do you think that energy cannot heal a body or fill a bank account? For the field, creating an atom or creating an empire is the same effort, 0. There are no degrees of difficulty here. It is not harder to heal a cancer than to heal a cold. It is only harder in your mind because you have more fear associated with cancer. For the field, it is only reorganizing cells. It is only changing a data pattern. Difficulty is a human illusion. The field is limitless, and so are you when you align with it. Chapter 3. The Law of Radical Coherence. Imagine a carriage pulled by two powerful horses. The horse on the left is named Mind and wants to go north. The horse on the right is named Heart and is terrified, wanting to flee south. You, the driver, shake the reins and shout, "Forward!" What happens? The carriage does not move. It becomes tense. It breaks. It is the internal struggle. Energy is wasted in a brutal internal struggle, and the net result is stagnation. That is your life today. Your conscious mind, the intellectual part that reads books and sets goals, says, "I want to be a millionaire." But your heart, the emotional center that stores your traumas and memories, says, "Money is dangerous. If I have it, I'll be judged. Or I will lose it. Or I will become greedy." Your mind steps on the accelerator. Your heart steps on the brake, and the universe, which responds to the sum total of your vibration, receives a signal of static noise, a signal that cancels itself out. Welcome to the law of radical coherence. This law states that miracles cannot descend on a divided system. A miracle requires a clear channel. It requires that what you think, what you say, what you feel, and what you do are aligned in a single laser frequency. To understand this, we must set aside mysticism and enter physics. We must understand how you function as a transmission antenna. You emit two types of primary signals, electric and magnetic. The brain is the electrical center. Thoughts are electrical impulses that fire neurons. When you think, "I want health," you send an electrical charge to the quantum field. It is the information. It is the intention. It is the map. The heart is the magnetic center. In fact, science has measured that the heart's magnetic field is much more powerful. The heart is up to 5,000 times more powerful than that of the brain. This field can be measured several meters away from your body. The heart does not think. The heart feels, and the feeling is the magnetic wave that brings reality toward you. It is the attraction. Here is the creation formula: clear intention, electric, plus elevated emotion, magnetic. This equals the electromagnetic signature. This electromagnetic signature is what the field of infinite possibilities reads. The field does not listen to your words. To the field, what you say out loud does not matter. The field only cares about what you are transmitting vibrationally. Let's analyze why traditional prayers often fail. A person kneels and prays, "Please God, I need a job, please help me. I'm afraid of not being able to pay the rent." Let's analyze the signal. Thought, brain. I want a job. Positive intention. Emotion, heart. Fear, desperation, anguish, lack. Negative energy. The magnetic signal of the heart is 5,000 times stronger. What message does the field receive? Fear, lack, need. The universe, which is a neutral mirror, responds to the strongest signal, and it sends you more reasons to be afraid, more situations of lack, and more need. The person gets up from praying and says, "I have prayed with great faith." No, they have prayed with great intensity but negative coherence. They have used the law perfectly, but against themselves. They have confirmed their reality as a victim. Radical coherence means reversing this process. It means that you cannot afford the luxury of having a thought of success while your body trembles with fear. You have to tame the horses. You have to make them look in the same direction. When your brain and your heart enter coherence, something biologically amazing happens. Synchronization is created. Brain waves and heart rhythms align. You stop being an organism in survival and become an organism in creation. In this state, the nervous system relaxes. Cortisol, the stress hormone, drops. The energy is released. The energy you once spent maintaining your internal civil war is now freed. You have an excess of energy. And that excess is the raw material you use to manufacture the miracle. But why is it so hard? Why does it seem that our mind and our heart are natural enemies? Because the body is addicted to the past. Your body is your subconscious mind. For years you have conditioned your body to feel anxiety, guilt, haste, or anger. Your body has become addicted to the chemicals those emotions produce. When you, from your conscious mind, say, "Today I am going to be happy and grateful," your body looks at you and says, "No way, I need my dose of suffering. I need my dose of victimhood." And then, the body begins to send signals to the brain. Negative thoughts, painful memories, physical sensations of discomfort. The body is trying to sabotage your attempt at coherence to return to the known chaos. The law of radical coherence demands that you become the master of your body, not its slave. It demands your control. It requires you to sit, close your eyes, and tell your body, "Today we are not going to suffer. Today we are going to create, and you are going to obey me." It is an act of will. It is a training. At first it is a battle. Then it becomes a dance. Let's talk about the triad of power. To achieve total coherence, you need to align 3 centers. 1, the brain, the architect. It must have a clear vision, without ambiguities. You cannot send confusing signals like, "I want money, but not too much." The electrical signal must be a laser. Precise. Exact. 2, the heart, the engine. It must generate the emotion of the final result before it happens. It must fall in love with the future. It must feel gratitude, freedom, and euphoria. Not hope, which implies doubt, but certainty, which implies possession. 3, the gut body, the earth. We often ignore this center, but it is vital. It is the visceral center. It is where intuition and action rest. If your mind and heart say yes, but you have a knot in your stomach, there is no coherence. The body must feel safe. You must breathe until the body lets go and trusts. When these 3 centers align, the phenomenon of transparency occurs. You become transparent to the divine flow. There are no more blocks. Energy enters through your crown and leaves through your feet into the earth, and in that flow you manifest. How does radical coherence feel? It is not just being calm. It is much more powerful. It is a sensation of power at rest. It is like being in the eye of the hurricane. Everything can be spinning and being chaotic around you. Bills, problems, people screaming. But you are in a center of absolute silence and stability. Nothing moves you. You feel a sharp mental clarity. You know exactly what to say. You know exactly what to do. Doubts disappear. Fear dissolves because fear is, by definition, an incoherence, a disconnection from the source. In a state of coherence, you feel invincible, not from the ego's arrogance, but from the spirit's security. Now the million-dollar question, how do we enter this state at will? How do we move from the chaos of traffic and stress to the coherence of the miracle in minutes? Here is the protocol. It is not a passive meditation, it is an active bioengineering technique. Heart Coherence Protocol. Step 1. Stop the bleeding, the break. The first thing is to realize that you are incoherent. If you feel anxiety, irritation, or haste, you are disconnected. Stop. Physically, close your eyes. Disconnect from the outside world. Say, internally, pause. Break the automatic pattern. Step 2. Focus on the heart, the attention. Bring all your attention to the center of your chest. Where you put your attention, you put your energy. By moving your focus from the brain, where the noise is, to the heart, where the truth is, you automatically lower the volume of mental chaos. You can place your hand over your heart to facilitate the physical connection. Feel the heat of your hand, feel the heartbeat. Step 3. Rhythmic breathing, the regulation. Start breathing a bit slower and deeper than normal. Inhale for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. Imagine that the air does not enter through your nose, but enters and leaves directly through your heart. This is not poetic visualization. This sends a safety signal to the autonomic nervous system. It tells your reptilian brain, we are safe. There is no tiger chasing us. You can turn off the defense systems. When the brain feels safe, it unlocks the frontal lobes, the center of creation. Step 4. Activation of elevated emotion, the fuel. Here is where the magic happens. While breathing through your heart, evoke a positive emotion. Do not think about the object of your desire yet. Simply generate the feeling. Remember a moment when you felt pure love, or deep gratitude, or the moment you hugged someone you loved, or the feeling of seeing a perfect sunset. Relive that emotion. Amplify it. Feel how your chest expands. Feel a soft smile rise to your face. Do not force it mentally. Feel it viscerally. You are starting the magnetic motor. You are going from 0 to 5,000 in power. Step 5. The transmission, the laser. Now that you are in a state of coherence, calm mind, open heart, safe body, it is time to emit the intention. In this superconductor state, bring to mind the image of your miracle. Visualize it. But now it is different. Now you do not visualize it from lack. Now you visualize it riding on the wave of energy that you have created in your heart. Send that image into the field, wrapped in that emotion of gratitude and love. It is like putting a letter on a rocket. Feel how the image and emotion merge. Feel the internal click, the moment of knowing that the signal has been sent and received. Stay in that state for a few minutes. Bathe in your own coherence. This heals your body. This repairs your DNA. This rewrites your destiny. The practice of radical coherence has a wonderful side effect. It makes you allergic to negativity. It protects your frequency. Once your body gets used to living in this state of high efficiency and bliss, it no longer tolerates drama. When you start to criticize, judge, or worry, you will feel a physical nausea. Your system will tell you, don't do this. Don't lower the frequency. It's not worth it. You will begin to protect your energy fiercely. You will stop watching news. You will distance yourself from vampiric people, not out of arrogance but out of vibratory hygiene. You will understand that your coherence is your greatest treasure. It is the key to the safe. If you lose your coherence, you lose your access to the field of possibilities. But there is a subtle trap to avoid. Many people use this technique to try to fix their reality. They say, I'm going to enter coherence so that my boss stops shouting at me, or so that my back pain goes away. If you do it with the intention of fixing or changing something external because you reject it, you are still in resistance. You are still affirming a problem. True radical coherence is not done to get something. It is done to be someone. You enter coherence because it feels good. You enter coherence because it is your natural state. You enter coherence to commune with the divine in you. And, as an inevitable side effect, the outside world orders itself. This is the law of manifestation. Seek ye first the kingdom, internal coherence, and all these things shall be added unto you. This is the law. The addition is the miracle. The kingdom is the state of being. Imagine a lighthouse in the middle of a storm. The lighthouse does not run back and forth trying to calm the waves. The lighthouse does not shout at the wind. The lighthouse simply stays still and shines. Its only function is to keep its light on and turning rhythmically. By doing that, the ships find the way. The chaos is navigated. You are the lighthouse. Your coherence is the light. The world is the storm. Do not try to calm the storm. Calm the lighthouse. Ensure your light is powerful. If your light is coherent, the storm cannot touch you. In fact, the storm will organize itself around your calm. In practical life, this means that when the unpayable bill arrives, you will not react with panic. You will breathe. You will activate the heart. You will enter coherence. And from that place of power, you will open the envelope. I assure you that what you read or the idea that occurs to you upon reading it will be very different, than if you had opened it trembling with fear. In Coherence, you access universal intelligence. You access solutions that your stressed mind cannot see. The miracle is often simply a brilliant idea received at the right time. It is received by a mind that was calm enough to hear it. The law of radical coherence is the end of duality within you. It is the sacred marriage between your internal masculine, mind direction, and your internal feminine, heart creation. When these two lovers unite in the bridal chamber of your body, the divine child is born. The miracle is born. Your task starting today is to monitor your coherence as if it were your vital pulse. Set alarms on your phone every 2 hours. Ask yourself, am I coherent or am I in chaos? If you are in chaos, reset. Take 2 minutes. Do the breathing. Return to the heart. Do not let hours pass in incoherence. Do not let stress accumulate like sediment in your arteries. Clean the channel constantly. Because remember, the field of infinite possibilities is transmitting 24/7. Abundance is playing right now. Health is transmitting right now. The only reason you do not receive it is because your radio has static. Tune it. Tuning the radio is your only responsibility. No one can do it for you. There is no guru, no healer, no external technique that can align your heart with your mind. Only you have your hands on the dial. Take control of your frequency today and watch as the miracles begin to line up at your door. Chapter 4. The Portal of the Eternal Now. There is a silent disease that infects humanity. It is not a biological virus, it is a conceptual virus. It is the root cause of almost all anxiety, depression, and failure in manifestation. This disease has a clear symptom: the inability to be where you are. Most human beings do not live their lives, they postpone them. They live in a mental waiting room. They tell themselves, I will be happy when I have the money. I will feel safe when I get married. I will rest when I retire. The word when is the lock on the cell. All your energy is projected toward an imaginary future that never arrives, or is anchored in a painful past that no longer exists. And while your mind travels between ghosts of yesterday and ghosts of tomorrow, the only place where real power exists, the present, remains deserted. Welcome to the portal of the eternal now. If you want to master the secret of instant miracles, you have to understand a truth that defies your intuition. Time does not exist. Time is a social convention. It is a useful tool for making appointments and catching trains, but it is a death trap for the spirit. In the physical quantum universe, only one moment exists. This one. The past is only a memory trace in your neurons. It is a video file stored in your brain. You are not going anywhere. When you remember the past, you are activating neural networks now. The future is only a simulation, a projection of probabilities that your brain manufactures based on your memories of the past. When you imagine the future, you are not going anywhere. You are hallucinating now. Everything is happening in a continuous and eternal now. Why is this vital for the miracle? Because energy does not travel through time. Energy manifests in the moment. If your mind is in the future, I want to be healed, you are sending a signal of lack to the field. You are saying, here and now I am not healed. And the field, which only responds to the now, confirms, correct, right now you are not healed. And it keeps you sick. To manifest an instant change, you must step off the horizontal line of time, chronos, and enter the vertical line of time, kairos. Imagine time as a horizontal line drawn on a blackboard. To the left is your birth, to the right your death. You are a point moving slowly. That is horizontal time. It is the time of aging, of waiting, of slow cause and effect. In horizontal time, things take time. In horizontal time, you have to work hard today to have results tomorrow. It is the realm of density. Now, imagine that at that point where you are standing, you draw a vertical line up and down, a line that cuts through history and goes into the depths. That is vertical time. Vertical time is not duration. It is intensity. It is depth. It is the moment an athlete enters the zone and the game seems to go in slow motion. It is the moment of the first kiss where the world disappears and a second seems to last a century. It is the moment of the car accident where you see every detail of the glass breaking, In vertical time, the clock stops, the mind falls silent, and you directly access the operating system of reality. Instant miracles only occur in vertical time. The problem is that your body is a biological time machine, but a defective one. Your body is the record of your past. Think about it. Every emotion you have felt has left a chemical residue. If you have lived with stress for 10 years, your body has adapted to that stress. Your cells have developed receptors for the stress hormone. When you wake up in the morning, your body is already looking for its dose of past. It seeks to feel anxious. It seeks to feel like a victim. Your body drags you to yesterday, and your mind, terrified by that yesterday, runs toward tomorrow to look for solutions. It worries. It plans. It anticipates catastrophes. So you have the body in the past and the mind in the future. Who is at home? Who is in the now taking care of creation? No one. The house is empty, the throne is vacant. And when the throne is vacant, chaos rules the kingdom. To activate the miracle, you must reclaim your presence. You must withdraw your energy from your past traumas and your future fears, and concentrate it all in this precise instant. This requires a titanic effort at first, because you are addicted to distraction. But when you manage to gather 100% of your energy in the now, you become a singularity. You become a black hole of attraction. Reality curves around you. Let's analyze the physics of waiting. Waiting is a mental state. It means you want the future and you reject the present. It means, I don't want to be here, I want to be there. This resistance creates an energetic friction. You are fighting against the universe. You are saying, this moment is not enough. And since the universe is a mirror, it will give you a next moment that is not enough. The miracle requires you to fall in love with the now, even if the now contains pain, even if the now contains debts. You must accept the now so radically that the friction disappears. When you accept the present totally, a door opens. You enter into peace. And in that peace, the energy you use to resist is released to create. Here is the great paradox of the Omega Code. To get what you want, you must stop needing it in the future and find a way to feel that you already have it in the present. This is not a play on words, it is a biohack trick. Your brain does not distinguish between a real event and one vividly imagined in the present. If you close your eyes now and visualize that you are biting a lemon, your salivary glands activate now, not tomorrow. If you close your eyes now and feel deep gratitude for your healing, your body begins to manufacture new immune cells. Now. The body always lives in the present. The mind is what escapes. Your job is to bring the mind to the body and anchor them together in the now. When you do this, you collapse time. People say, healing takes time. False. What takes time is for you to stop interfering with the body's natural healing process. People say, getting rich takes time. False. What takes time is for you to stop vibrating at the frequency of poverty. Time is only the distance between your current vibration and the vibration of your desire. If you change your vibration instantly in the now, time is reduced to zero. The event rushes toward you. How do we enter this portal? How do we stop the inertia of a lifetime running after time? You need to practice the death of the psychological ego. The ego is an entity made of time. Its name is your past history and your future ambitions. If you take away time, the ego dies. In the pure now, without memory or projection, you are simply presence. That is the state of power. The now protocol, the anchoring technique. You don't need to go to a cave in the Himalayas. You can do this while washing the dishes or driving to work. In fact, you must do it there. Step 1. Sensory immersion. Your senses are the anchors that hold you to the present. The mind cannot think and feel intensely at the same time. If you are thinking about your problems, you are not feeling your body. To enter the now, saturate your senses. Look around you. Do not judge. Just observe. Look at the light. Look at the textures. Look at the colors like a newborn seeing the world for the first time. Listen. Do not look for specific sounds. Listen to the hum of the refrigerator, the distant traffic, your own breathing. Accept all the noise as part of the harmony of the moment. Feel. Feel the weight of your body in the chair. Feel the clothes on your skin. Feel the temperature of the air. Feel life vibrating in your hands. Step 2. The Guardian's question. Once your senses are active, ask yourself this powerful question. In this precise instant, right now, am I missing anything? Do not answer with the mind. Yes, I'm missing money in the bank. Answer from the direct experience of the present second. In this exact second, you are breathing. Your heart is beating. You are not being eaten by a lion, you are conscious. In the microsecond of the now, you are always complete. Lack only exists when the mind goes to the past or the future. By realizing that now you are okay, your nervous system relaxes. You enter the 0 point. It is the gateway to all. Step 3. The expansion of the instant. Now that you are anchored, imagine that this moment is not a step toward the next, but that it is the final destination. Imagine that time stops. The world freezes. Only you and your consciousness exist. In this fertile void of the now, introduce your intention, but not as a wish, I want this, but as a fact that occurs simultaneously in this eternal present. Feel your desire here. Do not visualize it out there. Bring it here. Put it on like a coat. If you want health, feel your body vibrant and strong. Now. If you want love, feel the companionship and the warmth now. Do not look for external confirmation. The confirmation is internal. If you feel it real, it is real. The danger of later. The greatest enemy of this protocol is the thought, did it work? Let's see if anything changed. The moment you look for the result, you have left the now. You have returned to linear time. You have dug up the seed to see if it has roots. The master of the miracle lives in a state of constant déjà vu. He walks through the physical world, feeling that he has already lived his success. When he looks at his empty bank account, he doesn't say, "Oh no, it's empty." He says, "This is only the echo of the past. In my real now, this is full." He ignores the evidence of the temporal senses and stays true to the evidence of the eternal sense. This requires fierce mental discipline. The mind is like a restless dog that wants to run and find the bone of the future. You have to train it with love and firmness. Sit here now. Every time you catch yourself worrying about tomorrow, realize that you are hallucinating. Tomorrow does not exist. It only exists in your imagination. Why use your imagination to create horror movies? Use it to create paradise. When you learn to live in the now, you discover the secret of eternity. Eternity is not a very long time. Eternity is the absence of time. It is what the artist feels when painting. It is what the child feels when playing. In that state, you do not age. Your cells stop receiving the signal of entropy and decay. There are yogis and monks who seem not to age. They live in the now. In the now, there is no wear and tear. The portal of the eternal now is also the portal of synchronicity. When you are aligned with the present moment, you move at the same rhythm as the universe. You stop being late. You stop missing opportunities. You are in the right place at the right time, saying the right word. It is like entering a high-speed highway where all the traffic lights are green. It is not magic, it is synchronization. The universe is always transmitting opportunities in the now channel. If you are in the past channel, you don't see them. By tuning into the now, you see them all. The miracles rain upon you. You are finally there to receive them. I want you to do a test today. Choose a mundane activity. Washing dishes, showering, walking. Do it as if it were the most important thing in the universe. Do it with a deliberate slowness. Feel the water. Feel the movement of your muscles. If your mind goes away, bring it back. Do this for 10 minutes. When you finish, you will observe something strange. You will feel renewed. You will feel an unusual peace. You will feel that you have more energy than before. You have touched vertical time. You have recharged your battery at the source. Imagine if you lived your entire life like this. Imagine if every conversation, every task, every breath was lived with that intensity and presence. You would become a vortex of power. People would be attracted to you without knowing why. They would say, there is something about them. They have a special light. That light is presence, and that is the raw material. And presence is the raw material of which miracles are made. Do not underestimate the power of this chapter. It may seem simple, being present, but it is the master key. Without the now, no other technique works, because no other technique has a place to land. The future is a blank slate for the present. The future can only be written with the chalk of the present. If the chalk does not touch the blackboard today, nothing will be written tomorrow. So stop waiting. Stop waiting for the government to change, for your partner to change, for the economy to change. Change occurs in the only place where you have power. Here, the moment of power is now. The miracle is waiting for you, not at the finish line, but in the step you are taking at this very instant. Open the door, cross the portal, be here, and let the universe do the rest. Chapter 5, The Wave Collapse, the Observer. We now reach the central mechanism of the machinery of reality. We have talked about the field where everything exists, the coherence necessary to transmit, and the now as the only moment of power. But what is the finger that pulls the trigger? What is the specific force that turns an invisible possibility into a solid object you can touch? That force is your attention, and the physical phenomenon it triggers is called the wave collapse. For centuries, we believed that the human eye was a camera. We believed that the world was out there, fully formed, solid, and independent of us, and that our eyes simply captured the light bouncing off objects to inform the brain. We believed that we were passive spectators in a theater that was already built. Quantum physics destroyed that idea and handed us a terrifying responsibility. Your eyes are not cameras, they are projectors. You do not see the world because it exists. The world exists because you see it. It is your own creation. To understand this without getting lost in mathematical formulas, let's go back to the most famous experiment in the history of science, the double-slit experiment. Physicists discovered something that defied all logic. When they fired subatomic particles and no one watched them, they behaved like waves. They were pure potential. They were ghosts of energy floating everywhere at once. But at the exact moment a scientist or a measuring machine observed the particles, they stopped behaving like waves and instantly became solid particles. They located themselves in a fixed point in space and time. The conclusion was shocking. The act of observing creates reality. The observer's consciousness is what forces energy to make a decision and become matter. Now extrapolate this to your life. Because you are not made of wood or stone, you are made of those same subatomic particles. Your life, your finances, your health, and your relationships are made of those same particles. They are energy. This means that your reality is not fixed. Your reality is a wave of fluctuating possibilities that only freezes into a specific form when you look at it. The problem of humanity, and the reason why miracles seem scarce, is that we are terrible observers. Or, to be more precise, we are lazy and repetitive observers. You wake up in the morning, and the first thing you do is collapse the wave of your past. You look at your partner and remember yesterday's argument. By observing them through the filter of memory, you force your partner to behave the same as yesterday. You are collapsing their wave into the conflicting partner version. You look at your body in the mirror and look for the same flaws you saw yesterday. By focusing on them, you give them energy. You solidify them. You collapse the wave into the imperfect body version. You look at your bank account and feel the same old anguish. You collapse the wave into the lack version. You are a potent creator who is using his divine power to recreate the same prison day after day. You believe you are seeing reality, but in truth, you are sustaining reality. Your attention is the glue that holds the atoms of your problems together. If you were able to withdraw your attention radically, it would dissolve. If you withdrew your attention completely from a problem, it would have no energetic fuel to maintain itself. It would have to dissolve and turn back into a wave, into pure possibility. Here is the secret of the wave collapse to generate miracles. You must learn to stop observing what is, to start observing what can be. This requires a type of mental discipline that very few possess. It requires you to become indifferent to the evidence of your senses. Your senses scream at you, "Look, you are sick. Look at the diagnosis." The quantum observer responds, "That is only a possibility I collapsed in the past. Now I choose to withdraw my gaze." Your senses scream at you, "Look, there is no money." The quantum observer responds, "That is the old wave. I'm not going to validate it with my attention." You must understand that attention is literally nourishment. Everything in this universe struggles to survive, even your problems. A debt is an energetic entity. A disease is an energetic entity. To continue existing in the physical world, they need food. And what do they eat? They eat your attention. They eat your emotional energy. When you worry, you give them breakfast. When you talk about your problems with your friends, you give them lunch. When you can't sleep, you give dinner. You are fattening them. You are the father of your own monsters. The art of the miracle begins with the fasting of attention. You have to starve the old reality to death. This does not mean irresponsible denial. If you have a debt, pay it. Make the mechanical transfer. But do not give it your emotion. Do not give it your thoughts during the shower. Do not give it your conversations. Treat it as a boring procedure without emotional importance. Take the drama out of it. By taking the drama out, you take out the quantum glue. The wave begins to destabilize. Rigid reality becomes soft. The doors begin to open. And in that space you have liberated, you must start observing a new reality. But how do you observe something that is not yet visible? You observe it with the eye of the mind. For the brain, there is no difference between seeing something outside or seeing it inside. The same neurons fire, it is the same process. For the quantum field, there is no difference either. A potent internal observation collapses the wave just like an external observation. This is where most fail. They try to visualize, but their observation is weak, diffuse, and intermittent. Imagine you are a movie projector. If the light is weak, the image fades. To collapse a new reality, a miracle, your observation must be high definition and constant. It is not enough to visualize for 5 minutes and then spend 10 hours observing the opposite. If you visualize health in the morning, but spend the day complaining about pain, you have undone the work. You collapse the wrong wave. You collapse the wave of health for 1 minute and the wave of disease for 10 hours. Who wins? The majority wins. The master of the wave collapse lives in a double reality. He walks through the physical world, interacting just enough, but his true attention is anchored in a superimposed reality that only he sees. When someone asks him, "How are you?" and his physical life is a chaos, he does not lie, but neither does he collapse negativity. He responds, "Everything is falling into place," or "I am in the process of great changes." Internally, he is seeing the final result. He is already there. He is observing the victory. And because he observes it with such fixedness, the quantum field begins to reorganize coincidences so that the internal image matches the external one. Let's talk about the quality of the gaze. It is not the same to see as to observe. To see is passive, to observe is active. Observe implies intention. There is an ancient esoteric concept called fascination, or the evil eye. It was said that certain people could make others sick just by looking at them with envy or hate. Leaving superstition aside, the mechanics are real. A gaze charged with intense emotional intention is a laser beam of energy. It can alter matter. If envy, negative intention, can cause harm, imagine what benevolence or certainty, positive intention, can do. You can use your good eye to heal your body. You can look at your own hand, your own skin, and instead of seeing wrinkles or spots, project light and youth. Your cells obey. Cells are soldiers waiting for orders from the general, you. If the general looks at them with contempt, they weaken. If the general looks at them with pride and strength, they fight better. The supreme exercise of the observer is the fixedness of thought. In the yogic tradition, this is called dharana. It is one-pointed concentration. How long can you keep your attention on a single image of your fulfilled desire without a thought of doubt or distraction crossing? Most people don't last even 10 seconds. Their mind is a monkey jumping from branch to branch. That is why their lives are chaotic. Reality is a reflection. Your reality is a reflection of your fragmented attention. A fragmented life is the result of a fragmented observation. If you want solid miracles, you need a solid observation. I propose a training for your attention. Take a simple object, a candle, a flower, a stone. Put it in front of you. Observe it. Give it 100% of your attention. Study its shape, its color, its texture. When your mind wants to go to the shopping list or your problems, bring it back. No. Now only this flower exists. Do this for 5 minutes a day. It seems like a useless exercise, but you are training the miracle muscle. You are training your mind to collapse only one thing at a time. When you have the ability to focus your mind on a flower for 5 minutes without interruption, you will have the ability to focus on the healing of your body or the arrival of your wealth with such potency that the miracle will be inevitable. The wave collapse has a mortal enemy: realism. Society applauds you for being realistic. They tell you, you have to see things as they are. That is the most destructive advice you can receive. Seeing things as they are is the perfect recipe for stagnation. It is a closed loop. If you see things as they are, you keep them as they are. It is a closed loop. The great geniuses, the great millionaires, the great healers were never realistic. They were visionaries. A visionary is someone who has the audacity to collapse a wave that no one else sees. They see what is not yet there. Steve Jobs saw a phone without buttons when everyone else saw keyboards. He collapsed that wave and the world changed. Nelson Mandela saw a free South Africa when reality was a prison. He collapsed that wave. You have to be the visionary of your own life. You have to dare to see health where the doctor sees disease. You have to dare to see abundance where the bank sees a red balance. This requires courage. It requires you to endure cognitive loneliness. People will tell you that you are crazy. They will tell you that you are in denial. Remember, they are victims of the collective illusion. They think the movie is the projector. They think the movie on the screen is real and do not know it comes from the projector. You know the secret. You are in the projection booth. Do not argue with the spectators. Simply change the roll of film. The process of the wave collapse can be summarized in 3 operative steps. 1. Withdrawal of attention, the blackout. Identify the area of your life you do not like. Stop talking about it. Stop thinking about it. Stop feeding it. If it hurts, do not say it hurts. Say, I am processing a healing. Change the label. Take energy away from the problem. Make it blurry. 2. Selection of the new wave, the focus. Choose what you want to experience. Create a clear holographic image, not a static image, but a moving scene. A short scene that implies the desire has already been fulfilled. Example: if you want money, visualize yourself paying the bill with total peace. 3. Sustained observation, the fixation. Repeat that scene in your mind over and over. Observe it with emotion. Observe it with detail. Do it upon waking. Do it before sleeping. Do it while walking. Saturate your internal visual field with that new reality. It will become your new truth. There will come a time when that internal image will feel more real and familiar than your external reality. That is the breaking point. In that moment, the wave collapses. The quantum field rushes to fill the mold you have created. There is a signal that indicates you are doing this right: the loss of desire. This sounds paradoxical, but it is crucial. While you desire something, you are affirming that you do not have it. You are observing the absence. When you correctly observe the presence of your desire in your mind, you reach a point of satisfaction. You feel that it is done. The urgency disappears. You feel calm. That tranquility is the proof that the collapse has occurred in the quantum plane. The physical manifestation is now only a matter of rendering time. You no longer seek it with anxiety. You wait for it with certainty. Like someone waiting for a package they know was sent, you don't chase the delivery. A final warning about the observer. Be careful what you observe in others. When you criticize someone, when you judge someone, you are collapsing their negative wave. But since we are all connected in the field, by observing the bad in another, you activate the frequency of the bad in yourself. You cannot make another sick without infecting yourself first. You cannot judge another's poverty without invoking poverty for yourself. The miracle master becomes a benevolent observer. He trains himself to look for the good in everything and everyone. He looks for beauty in the chaos. By observing the best in others, you collapse their best version. You help them rise, and by the law of return, the universe collapses your best version for you. Your gaze is a blessing or a curse. Use it wisely. Now you understand that you are not a passive receiver of data. You are a generator of reality. Your eyes are the tools of God. Where you put your eye, you put your power. Stop looking at your chains, look at your wings. Because that which you look at for long enough will inevitably become you. And this leads us to the next level. If observing creates reality, what happens to the person who observes? For the miracle to be permanent, it is not enough to visualize what you want to have. You have to change who you are. The universe does not give things to people. The universe confirms identities. In the next chapter, we are going to explore the art of assuming. We will stop being you and start being the new you. We are going to stop playing wanting to be to start playing being. We are going to change your cosmic identity document. Prepare to die to your old self and be reborn as the version that already has the miracle. The old man must pass so the new man can reign. Your transformation is at hand. Chapter 6. The Art of Assuming Identity. We have reached the point where most students of manifestation get lost. We have reached the abyss that separates the dreamer from the possessor. You can master heart coherence, you can understand the quantum field intellectually, and you can even stop time in the now. But if you fail in this step, all of the above will be a sterile mental exercise. The universe does not give you what you want. The universe does not even give you what you need. The universe gives you what you are. This is the hardest law and, at the same time, the fairest. Your physical reality is a perfect mirror of your subconscious identity. You cannot have a millionaire's bank account if you have a poor person's identity. It is energetically impossible. Even if you won the lottery tomorrow, if your identity is that of someone struggling to survive, you will lose that money in 2 years. The mirror always adjusts to reflect the face you have on. Therefore, the secret of instant miracles is not to change the world. It is to change the I that experiences the world. Welcome to the art of assuming. The word assume comes from the Latin assumere, which means to take for oneself. It does not mean pretending. It does not mean lying to yourself. It means appropriating a state of being. It means dressing yourself in the skin of the person you desire to be, until that skin merges with your flesh and becomes your only reality. Let's analyze the deadly trap of desire. Society teaches us to desire. Chase your dreams, they tell us. But desire, in metaphysical terms, is a declaration of lack. To desire something, you must first assume that you do not have it. If you have your car keys in your hand, you do not say, "I desire my car." You simply know it is yours and you get in. You only desire what you feel is far away. When you spend years desiring to heal, you are vibrationally affirming for years, "I am sick." And the universe, faithful to your identity, keeps you sick so that you can continue playing the game of desiring to heal. Desire keeps the object away. Assumption brings the object inside, it makes it one with you. Neville Goddard, the great modern mystic, explained it with brutal clarity. You must live from the end, not think of the end. There is an abysmal difference between thinking of your dream and thinking from your dream. Thinking of your dream is seeing it as a movie on a distant screen. You see yourself rich, you see yourself happy, but you are here in the cinema seat, separated from the screen. There is distance, there is longing. Thinking from the dream is getting inside the screen. It is looking at the world through the eyes of the version of you that already achieved it. If you are already rich, how do you see the price of dinner on the menu? You see it differently than you do now. If you are already healthy, how do you get out of bed? You get up differently. If you are already loved, how do you react when they don't answer a message? You react with security, not with anxiety. The art of assuming requires a psychological suicide. You must be willing to kill the old man, your old identity, so the new man can be born. You cannot put new wine into old wineskins. You cannot graft a life of success onto a victim personality. The old personality will reject the success as if it were an incompatible organ transplant. You have to change the immune system of your identity. How is this done? It is not an intellectual process, it's an internal one. It is not enough to say, I am rich like a parrot, if inside you feel like a fraud. You have to embody the state. You have to be a supreme method actor. Imagine the great Hollywood actors. When they prepare for a role, they don't just memorize lines, they change their way of walking. They change their voice. They change their diet. They begin to think like the character. A moment comes when the actor disappears and only the character remains. Even when the cameras turn off, they stay in the role. You are the screenwriter, the director, and the leading actor of your life. And you are doing a mediocre performance of the role of a person with problems. You are so deep into that role that you have forgotten it is a performance. The miracle requires you to break the script. It requires that, in this very instant, you begin to act, think, feel, and walk like the version of you that already has the miracle. This is called the identity leap. It is a jump into a new reality. It is not a gradual process. You do not become a confident person little by little. One day you decide, the insecurity is over. From this second on, I am power. And you begin to move from there. At first it will feel strange. It will feel as if you are wearing a suit that is too big for you. Your mind will scream at you, imposter, liar. Look at your bank account, you are not rich. That is the critical moment. If you listen to the logical mind and take off the suit, you return to the old reality. But if you have what Neville called brazen impudence, you tell your mind, shut up. I know physical reality doesn't show it yet, but I say I am this and my word is law. And you keep walking with the suit on. You persist, you ignore the evidence of the senses, and little by little the suit begins to fit. You feel comfortable. You begin to forget that you are acting. It becomes natural, and the moment it becomes natural, boom, physical reality hardens around your new identity. Let's talk about naturalness. This is the best-kept secret. A miracle only occurs when it feels natural for you to have it. As long as you see $1 million as something giant, incredible, and far away, it will not come. Because for your current identity, that is abnormal, it is a foreign body. For the multimillionaire, $1 million is natural. It is normal. They don't get hysterically excited about it. It is simply what is. For the healthy person, not having pain is natural. They don't wake up every morning crying with joy because they have no pain. They simply live. The art of assuming consists of normalizing the extraordinary. You have to bring your desire to the point of naturalness. You have to feel that having success is logical, obvious, what belongs to you by divine right. As long as you put it on a pedestal, you will stay below looking at it. Take it off the pedestal. Make it yours. Put it on like a comfortable old t-shirt. How do we practice this in daily life? With internal dialogue. Your identity is sustained by a constant conversation you have with yourself. I am clumsy. I am always late. This is too expensive. Nobody loves me. How tired I am. Those phrases are the bricks of your prison. You must change the blocks. If you want to assume a new identity, you have to change the internal script, but not with false affirmations, rather with conversations from the new reality. Listen to your thoughts. Are they speaking from lack or from abundance? The new you does not think, I hope I can pay for this. The new you thinks, I love this, I'll take it. Abundance flows. The new you does not think, will they call me? The new you thinks, I'm irresistible, of course they seek me out. You must watch your mind like a hawk. Every time a thought from the old man arises, you have to cut it and replace it with a thought from the new man. It is a constant correction. It is exhausting work at first. It requires constant vigilance. But it is the only way to rewrite the source code. The environment will test you. The universe will always ask you, are you sure you are this new person? And it will send you an unexpected bill. It will send you a physical symptom. It will send you a rejection. These are not punishments. They are calibration tests. The universe is telling you, you say you are rich, but here is a debt. How does a rich person react to a temporary debt? If you react with panic and return to your old identity as a victim, you have failed the test. Reality does not change. But if you look at the debt and from your new assumption you say, this is insignificant, it is just a remnant of the past, my prosperity is greater than this, and you stay calm, then you have passed the test. You have proven that your identity is stronger than your circumstances, and then the sea opens. The art of assuming also involves changing your physiology. Your body is the hardware of your identity. How does a depressed person sit? Slumped shoulders, low gaze, shallow breathing. How does a king sit? Straight back, open chest, gaze at the horizon, deep breathing. You cannot have a king's consciousness in a beggar's body. Change your posture now. Sit like the person who has already achieved the miracle. Do you feel the energy shift? Do you feel the authority? That is the signal you are sending to the quantum field. Walk down the street as if you owned the street. Not with arrogance toward others, but with dignity toward yourself. Dress like the person you want to be. Do not wait for the special occasion. You are the special occasion. Eat like that person. Speak like that person. By modifying the external, your avatar, you hack the internal, your program. There is a deep mystical concept here. I am that I am. It is a decree of power. It is the name of God in the Bible, but it is also the formula of identity. Whatever you put after I am, you create. I am is pure creative force. What follows is the mold. If you say I am poor, you are using the power of God to create poverty. If you say I am sick, you are using the power of God to damage your body. It is not just a way of speaking, it is a decree of identity. You must become impeccable with your I ams. Never, under any circumstances, finish that sentence with something you do not want to see manifested in your life, even if you are joking. The subconscious has no sense of humor. It takes everything literally. If you say I am an idiot when you make a mistake, your subconscious says noted. Executing idiocy program. Change it. Say, I am learning, I am brilliant, and every day I improve. The art of assuming allows you to travel in time. It allows you to bring the future into the present. It makes it real now. When you assume that your desire is already fulfilled, time collapses. Anxiety disappears. Why would you be anxious about something you already have? If you truly assume you are healthy, you stop obsessively searching for remedies on the internet. You relax, and in that relaxation the body heals itself, it finds its balance. If you truly assume the money is yours, you stop chasing it with desperation. You work, yes, but you work from inspiration, not from panic, and money finds you. A warning about imposter syndrome. When you begin to assume greatness, you will feel shame. You will feel that you are fake. You will feel like you're lying. Your friends will look at you strangely. Why are you so happy if you have problems? Remember this. Reality is malleable. The only reason you feel like an imposter is because you are comparing your new invisible identity with your old visible reality. But visible reality is dead past. It is just an echo. It is, you are not an imposter. You are a prophet. You are prophesying your future with your present attitude. Every great change in history started with someone who seemed crazy or delusional. The Wright brothers assumed they could fly before the airplane existed. They looked crazy, but they were the ones who were right. Assuming is an act of rebellion against the status quo. Be rebellious, be bold, be irrationally confident. Here is a practical exercise to cement your new identity. The magic suit. Every morning before getting out of bed, imagine you have an invisible suit hanging next to you. It is the perfect skin. That suit is the skin of your miraculous self. Imagine that you put it on. Zip it up. Feel how your energy changes as you put it on. Suddenly your thoughts change. Your fears stay outside the suit. Inside the suit, you are invincible. You are charismatic. You are abundant. It is your true nature. Promise yourself that you will not take off the suit all day no matter what happens. If someone insults you, remember, the self in the suit is not offended by trifles, and you smile. If a problem arises, remember, the self in the suit has infinite resources, and you solve it. Play this game. It becomes a habit. At first it is a game, then it becomes a habit. Finally it becomes your character, and character is destiny. When you change your identity, you change your signature in the quantum field. The universe no longer recognizes you as the old person. Wait, says the field, here was a victim, but now I detect a master, and since the field must reflect what you are, it begins to change the scenery. Toxic people move away because they no longer fit into your script. Opportunities appear because you now have the frequency to see them. The miracle is not something you get, it is something you manifest because you can no longer avoid it. It is the natural consequence of being who you are. Stop asking for miracles. Become the miracle. Stop seeking love. Become love. Stop seeking wealth. Become abundance. Identity is the master key. But identity needs fuel to move. It needs an engine. That engine is the heart. It is the fire of your soul. We have already talked about coherence, but now we are going to talk about the chemistry of emotion. In the next chapter, we are going to discover how to use your emotions not as reactions to what happens, but as tools of creation. We will learn to ignite the heart to propel your reality. We are going to learn to ignite the heart motor to propel your new identity toward physical materialization at turbo speed. Get ready to feel like you have never felt before. Get ready to fall in love with your future. The transformation is already occurring within you. Walk as the new being you have become. Chapter 7. The Heart Motor. Welcome to the heart motor. For centuries, Western education has committed a crime against the human spirit. It has separated reason from emotion. We have been taught that the head is the king and the heart is a foolish, temperamental servant. We have been told that emotions are weaknesses, that they cloud judgment and that they make us vulnerable. Don't be so emotional, they tell you. Think with a cold head. That is the perfect advice if you want to be an efficient robot in a factory. But if you want to be a creator of realities, it is the worst possible advice. To despise emotion is to despise the power source. In the physics of manifestation, thought is the electrical signal. It is the information. It is the architect's blueprint. But the blueprint does not build the house. You need energy to move the bricks. Emotion is the magnetic signal. It is the force of attraction. It is the gravity that pulls the experience from the quantum field into your physical life. Without emotion, your thought is an arrow without a bow. It falls to the ground a meter away. With an elevated emotion, your thought is a heat-seeking missile. Let's talk about power. The most advanced research institutes in heart physiology, such as the Heart Math Institute, have measured this scientifically. The heart's electrical field is 60 times greater than that of the brain. But the data that changes the game is this. The heart's magnetic field is up to 5,000 times more powerful than that of the brain. Read it again, 5,000 times. When you try to manifest by only thinking, visualizing with a cold mind, you are using a toy motor. You are using a 1-volt battery. It is not enough. When you involve the heart and generate a passionate emotion, you are connecting your desire to a 5,000-volt nuclear power plant. The quantum field, that ocean of infinite possibilities, does not speak Spanish. It does not speak English. It does not understand your words. The quantum field speaks only one language, frequency. And frequency is generated by emotion. If you say, I am rich, thought, but you feel fear, emotion, the fear signal is 5,000 times stronger than the wealth signal. The field ignores your word and obeys your heart. It returns more situations to you that generate fear. That is why the law of attraction fails for so many people. It is because they try to attract with the mind, the weak magnet, instead of with the heart, the giant magnet. The secret of instant miracles lies in mastering emotional alchemy. Most people are reactive. They are slaves to their environment. If something good happens, they feel good. If something bad happens, they feel bad. Their emotional motor is controlled by the outside world. They are puppets. The world pulls the strings and they dance. The master is proactive. The master understands that to change the outside world, they must generate the emotion before the event occurs. They must feel the joy before the good news arrives. They must feel the gratitude before the healing. They must feel the abundance before the check arrives. This seems irrational to the analytical mind. How can I feel happy if I am suffering? Logic asks. This is where you must exercise your sovereignty. Your body is a chemical laboratory. You have the ability to create. You can manufacture any emotional drug you desire without the need for an external stimulus. You can close your eyes and remember a moment of deep love, and your body will release oxytocin. You can imagine a future triumph, and your body will release dopamine. By doing this, you change your electromagnetic signature. You go from emitting victim to emitting victorious. And when you change the signal, the field responds. Let's analyze the chemistry of the miracle. When you live in stress, fear, anger, haste, envy, you are activating the sympathetic nervous system. You are in survival mode. Your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones are useful if a lion is chasing you. They concentrate all your energy in the muscles to run, but they steal the energy from your creative centers, from your immune system, and from your heart. Under the effect of stress, your magnetic field contracts. You become dense, you become matter trying to move matter. It is the hardest way to live. You have to fight for everything. The miracle cannot enter a stressed body because stress is the signal of imminent danger, and in danger, there is no time to create. There is only time to survive. On the contrary, when you activate elevated emotions, you change everything. When you activate love, joy, gratitude, compassion, and wonder, you activate the parasympathetic system. Your body releases DHEA, the youth hormone, oxytocin, the love hormone, and strengthens the immune system. But most importantly, your magnetic field expands. You go from being a particle to being a wave. You become large. Your energy fills the room. And because your field is wide, you can touch and attract possibilities that are far away in space-time. In a state of ecstasy or deep gratitude, you don't have to go looking for your dreams. Your dreams are sucked toward you by the gravity of your heart. Let's talk about the supreme emotion for manifestation: gratitude. Gratitude is not just a rule of good manners. It is a technological tool. Biologically and psychologically, when do you feel gratitude? You only feel gratitude when you have already received something. Gratitude is the emotional signature that it's done. Gratitude is the emotional signature that the event has already occurred. If you give thanks, the message you send to the subconscious and to the field is, the gift is already here. Therefore, gratitude is the ultimate shortcut. If you can feel genuine gratitude for your healing before seeing it in the medical tests, you are telling the universe that the healing is already an accomplished fact. The universe cannot contradict your vibration. If you vibrate in thank you, the universe must deliver the reason for which you are thanking. Do not give thanks so that it happens. That is manipulation and lack. Give thanks because you know it exists. This is the challenge of the heart motor, overcoming emotional addiction. I must be brutally honest with you. You are an addict. Your body is addicted to negative emotions. If you have spent years feeling guilt, your body has developed specific cellular receptors for the chemicals of guilt. Your body eats guilt. When you try to be happy, your body goes into withdrawal. It feels that its drug of suffering is missing, and then the body begins to send sad thoughts to the mind so that you feel bad again and give it its chemical dose. It sabotages you. It makes you look for fights with your partner. It makes you remember past traumas. It makes you watch the news to feel indignant. It is all a biochemical ploy by your body to return to the known emotional state, even if that state is painful. Igniting the heart motor requires a detoxification. It requires you to sit in the fire of transformation and tell your body no. Today we are not going to eat suffering. Today we are going to eat joy, and you are going to get used to it. It is difficult at first. The motor coughs. It seems like it won't start. You feel fake. How am I going to feel love if I am alone and broke? The body screams. Insist. Use memory. Remember something you love, your pet, your child, a landscape. Use that spark to light the flame. Breathe into your heart. Give air to the fire. Little by little, the chemistry changes. The heart softens. Suddenly, a tear of emotion rolls down your cheek. Bingo! The motor has started. You have broken the cycle of addiction to suffering. You have started to produce the miracle's fuel. There is a physical barrier you must know, the heart wall. Most adults have an energetic wall around their heart. They built it to protect themselves. Every time your heart was broken, every time you were betrayed, every time you felt rejected, you added a brick to the wall. You said, "Never again will they hurt me," and you closed the gate. The problem is that the wall that protects you from pain also isolates you from the miracle. A closed heart cannot emit magnetism. A closed heart is an engine turned off. You can be the most intelligent and positive person in the world, but if your heart is shielded, your power of manifestation is zero. To activate instant miracles, you have to have the courage to open the heart again. Yes, it is a risk. Yes, they can hurt you. But vulnerability is the price of power. Only an open heart can connect with the divine network. Only an open heart can receive. You must tear down the wall, not with blows, but with breath and forgiveness. Forgive whoever hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because you need to free your heart from that burden. so it can function again as the creation motor it is. Resentment is a plug in the exhaust pipe. Let it go. You want miracles, not justice. Ignition Protocol. Use this technique every morning before getting up. Step 1. Physical connection. Place your hands on your chest, one on top of the other, over the heart area. Physical touch brings attention there automatically. Feel the heat of your palms passing through the clothes and the skin. Greet your heart. Recognize it as a living intelligence, not just as a blood pump. It is alive. Step 2. Bellows breathing. Imagine you have a nose in the center of your chest. Inhale slowly, feeling the air enter directly into the heart, fanning a golden ember that lives there. Exhale from the heart, feeling that ember shine stronger. Do this for 2 minutes until you feel a warmth or a tingling in your chest. Step 3. Fuel injection, cultivating emotion. Now do not think about your desire yet. First, we need power. Bring to your mind something or someone for which you feel unconditional love or pure gratitude. It can be your dog's face when they see you arrive, the laugh of your baby, the memory of a swim in the sea. Feel it. Do not think it. Feel it. Immerse yourself in that sensation. Let it flood you. Physically smile. The smile sends signals to the brain to release joy neuropeptides. Amplify that emotion. Turn up the volume. Make it more intense than the situation that surrounds you. Step 4. The fusion. The shot. Focus now. Now that your motor is roaring, now that you feel expanded and grateful, introduce the image of your miracle. Place your desire, health, money, love, inside your heart. Bathe it in that golden energy of gratitude. Feel how much you love your new life. Give thanks for it as if it had already happened years ago. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is wonderful, it is perfect. Feel the emotion of relief. Relief is the best indication that resistance has disappeared. Keep this state as long as you can. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you are emitting a 5,000-volt signal to the cosmos. You are bending space-time, you are the creator. When you finish, do not cut the emotion abruptly. Carry that emotional fragrance with you during the day. If something stresses you, touch your heart for a second and remember the sensation. Come back to the center. Protect your emotional state as if it were a treasure, because it is. It is your connection with the source. There is an advanced level to this. Ecstasy. The mystics of all traditions speak of ecstasy as the gate to heaven. Ecstasy is not just happiness, it is a vibration so high that it dissolves the ego. When you are in ecstasy, through music, dance, love, nature, you lose the notion of I. You merge with the all. It is pure. In that state, resistance is zero and power is infinite. Any thought you have during a moment of ecstasy manifests almost instantaneously. That is why music is so powerful. Use music to raise your heart to tears, and in that peak of emotion, visualize your dream. It is like riding a bolt of lightning. It is the direct path. Remember, the universe does not punish or bless. The universe responds, and it responds to your heart. If your heart is a dry desert, your life will be a desert. If your heart is a fertile and grateful garden, your life will bloom with miracles that logic cannot explain. Stop trying to solve your problems by thinking. Problems are not solved at the same level of consciousness that created them. Go down to the heart. Turn on the motor. Feel the solution before seeing it. Make love and gratitude your daily diet, not your occasional dessert. When your heart beats with the certainty of the miracle, the world has no strength to deny it to you. The door opens from the inside. Now that we have the car, mind, the moment, now, and the fuel, heart, we need one more thing. We need the command codes. We need to learn how to give precise instructions to matter. In the Bible it is said, "In the beginning was the Word." The spoken word is not air, it is sonic vibration. It is a vibration that structures reality. In the next chapter, The Alchemy of the Word, we are going to learn to speak the language of creation. We are going to eliminate the victim vocabulary and learn to decree with the authority of a king. The silence is broken. The command is going to be given. Prepare to speak. Chapter 8. The Alchemy of the Word. We often underestimate the power of our words. We use them carelessly, as if they were candy wrappers we throw on the ground. We say, "I'm starving. This job is killing me. I'm a mess. Life is a struggle." We believe we are simply describing our reality, but you must wake up to a terrifying and wonderful truth. The Omega Code wakes you up to a truth. You do not describe the world with your words, you prescribe it. Your words are not passive labels that you stick onto facts. Your words are bricks. They are computer code commands. They are genetic seeds. Every time you open your mouth, you are performing alchemy in real time. You are transmuting energy into matter. The question is, are you turning gold into lead or lead into gold? Welcome to the alchemy of the word. In all great initiatory traditions, sound is the origin of creation. In the Judeo-Christian Genesis, and God said, "Let there be light." He did not think it, he said it. In Hinduism, the universe is born from the primordial sound Om. In the Hermetic tradition, the universe is vibration. Even modern science with the Big Bang theory tells us about an initial explosion, an expansive wave of sound and light that gave rise to everything that exists. Sound structures form, it is the law. If you have doubts about this, investigate the science of cymatics. When you place sand on a metal plate and make it vibrate with different sound frequencies, the sand stops being a chaotic pile and magically organizes itself into perfect geometric patterns. Mandalas, stars, hexagons, sound orders all matter. Sound. Now remember this, you are made of matter. Your life, your body, your bank account, your relationships are sand on the vibrating plate of the universe. And what is the frequency that makes that plate vibrate? Your voice, your daily decrees, your constant dialogue. If your life seems like a mess, your sound is chaotic. You are emitting a cacophony of complaints, fears, and doubts. The sand cannot form a beautiful pattern because your voice trembles. If you want the miracle, you must learn to emit the master sound. The word abracadabra, popularized by circus magicians, has an ancient and sacred origin in Aramaic, avracadabra. Its literal translation is, "I create as I speak." This is not superstition, it is a mechanical law. Language is a programming code. The universe is the supercomputer. When you say, "I can't," the universe receives the code, execute capacity block, and your nervous system literally inhibits itself, you become weaker. When you say, "I am sick," you send the code, confirm pathology, and your cells obey, stopping the repair processes. You are a programmer who has spent a lifetime typing viruses into his own operating system. The first step in the alchemy of the word is the linguistic diet. You must eliminate words of lack. You must eliminate from your vocabulary, in a radical and ruthless way, victim words. These are words that strip you of power, that announce to the universe that you have no control, that you are a passive spectator of your destiny. The first word to eliminate is try. I am going to try to heal. I am going to try to be rich. Trying is the anticipated excuse for failure. Trying means, I'm going to make an effort, but I don't expect to achieve it. The universe does not understand trying. You either do it or you don't. As Master Yoda said, do or do not, there is no try. When you say, I will try to be on time, you are already energetically late. Change it to, I will. I will heal. I will be on time. Feel the difference of authority in your body. I will mobilizes resources. I will try puts them to sleep. The second word is hopefully, or I hope. Hopefully they give me the job. I hope this goes well. Hope is poison for manifestation. Hope implies doubt. It implies that the result is uncertain and that you are crossing your fingers, helpless. Hope puts the power outside. The alchemist does not hope. The alchemist selects. Instead of, I hope it goes well, say, I trust that this is for my good, or I select the best result. Decree it. Do not beg for it. The third word is need. I need money. I need love. As we saw in previous chapters, need is the affirmation of lack. If you need, you do not have, and if you vibrate in I do not have, the quantum field gives you more not having. Change it to I require or I choose. I require this amount. It seems like a subtle change, but energetically it is massive. To need comes from the hole in the stomach, fear. To require or to choose comes from the will of the solar plexus, power. A king requires resources for his kingdom. A beggar needs alms. Be the king. And the most dangerous category of all, complaining and gossip. Complaining is a high-voltage negative decree. When you complain, "What horrible traffic, how useless my boss is," you are using your divine power to magnify what you hate. You are observing the negative, verbalizing it, and amplifying it with anger. It is a perfect storm of negative creation. You are cursing yourself. And gossip is even worse. Speaking ill of others is drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. By criticizing another, you align yourself with the frequency of what you criticize. If you criticize the greed of a rich man, you are affirming that money is bad and therefore you move away from money. The fast from complaining must be total. Try it for 24 hours. If you complain, the timer goes back to 0. You will be surprised to see how addicted you are to cursing your own reality. Now that we have cleared the weeds, we are going to plant the seeds of gold. We are going to talk about the decree. A decree is not a timid affirmation. A decree is a legislative order. When a judge passes sentence, they do not say, "Hopefully the defendant goes to jail." They say, "The defendant is sentenced." And in that instant, the man's reality changes. The judge's word created a new reality. You are the supreme judge of your universe. For a decree to work and activate the instant miracle, it must comply with sacred architecture. It must be in the present. It must be positive. It must be short and rhythmic. If you say, "I don't want to be fat," your subconscious hears, "I want to be fat." Eliminate the no. Focus on the healthy weight instead. The correct decree is, "I have a healthy and vital weight." If you say, "I want to get out of debt," you are focusing on debt. The correct decree is, "I am financially free. Money flows to me." The power of a decree is multiplied by repetition and intonation. Do not whisper it. Say it. The sound must vibrate. The sound has to vibrate in your chest. You have to feel the resonance in your bones. When Jesus raised Lazarus, he did not just think it. The Bible says he cried with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come forth." He used sound to break the inertia of death. You must use sound to break the inertia of your old life. Lock yourself in your car or your room and decree your new truth out loud. I am healthy, I am power, I am abundance. At first you will feel ridiculous. It is the ego resisting its dissolution. Keep shouting until your own voice convinces you. Keep going until you feel a chill down your spine. That is matter reorganizing. We now reach the atomic bomb of language, the I am. These two words are the master key of creation. In Hebrew, Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. I am that I am. Whatever you put after I am becomes your destiny. I am is not a description. It is an invocation. You are calling that quality to be embodied in your biology. It is a blasphemy against your own spirit to say, "I am useless, I am poor, I am sickly." You are using the name of God in vain. You are using creative power to destroy yourself. Never, under any circumstances, finish a sentence that starts with "I am" with something you do not want to see amplified in your life. Even if you feel tired, do not say "I am exhausted," which decrees the end of your energy. Say, "I am recharging my strength." Even if you are broke, do not say, "I am poor." Say, "I am in the process of generating wealth." Protect your I am as you would protect your newborn child. Do not let anything toxic touch it. The alchemy of the word also has a secret component, silence. For your word to have power, it must be born from silence. If you spend the day talking nonsense, gossiping and narrating every step you take, you are dissipating your energy. Your word becomes cheap, it becomes inflationary. Be silent to be powerful. Ancient magicians practiced the vow of silence to accumulate pressure. Imagine a water hose. If you have holes everywhere, useless words, the final stream comes out weak. If you plug the holes, when you finally open the nozzle, your decree, the stream comes out with pressure capable of cutting metal. Learn to be silent. Do not tell your plans to anyone. Do not tell your problems to anyone unless it is to find a technical solution, not to complain. Do not give your opinion on other people's lives. Save your words. Accumulate your power. And when you speak, let it be to heal, to teach, to thank, or to order reality. Let your word be gold, scarce and valuable. There is an advanced practice I want you to adopt, the baptism of reality. Like Adam in paradise, you have the power to name things. When something bad happens to you, you miss the bus, you get fired, you have a few seconds before your mind labels it. Normally, you label it automatically as misfortune, problem, bad luck, and by naming it that way, the event behaves like a misfortune. But you can rename it. In that lapse, you can say, this is an opportunity, or this is a cleansing, or this is the universe redirecting me to something better. If you baptize being fired as liberation, the energetic event changes. Suddenly you feel relief instead of fear, and that new frequency attracts a better job. If you baptize illness as rest notice, the body relaxes and heals faster. It doesn't matter what happens outside, it matters how you name it inside. You are the one who titles the chapters of your life. Stop titling them tragedy and start titling them the hero's journey. The 7-Day Verbal Diet Challenge. To integrate this, I propose a game that is deadly for the ego. During the next 7 days, you cannot complain, not even once, not about anything. Not about the weather, the politician, the headache, or the slow service at the restaurant. If a complaint arises in your mind, bite your tongue, swallow it, transmute it into silence or an affirmation of preference. I prefer fast service. You also cannot criticize anyone. You cannot use victim words either. If you fail, do not punish yourself, but be aware. Reset the hour counter. If you manage to do this for 7 days, I guarantee your life will be unrecognizable. Your energy will increase drastically because you will stop having verbal leaks. Your relationships will improve. Your miracles will begin to accelerate. The universe is listening. Always. There are no private conversations. Your inner monologue and your coffee shop conversations are constant prayers thrown to the sky. Make sure you are asking for what you really want. Words are the access codes. You have learned to program. Now you must protect the code from the virus. But there is something that blocks the code even when it is well written. There is a virus in the system that disguises itself as realism and caution. That virus is doubt. In the next chapter, The Fasting of Interferences, we will learn to detect and eliminate the invisible resistance. We will protect the seed. We are going to learn why fear is actually a form of inverted faith, and how to clean your environment so that your seed can grow without being choked by the weeds of skepticism. The decree has been launched. Now it must be protected. You are the alchemist. Speak your truth into existence starting right now. Chapter 9, The Fasting from Interferences. Imagine that you are an Olympic archer. You have trained your body, coherence. You have visualized the perfect target, the field. You have tensed the bow with the correct emotion, heart motor. You have released the arrow with the decree of power, word. The arrow flies straight toward the center of the bullseye. The miracle is inevitable. But halfway there, a violent crosswind blows and diverts the arrow, which ends up stuck in the mud. That wind was not in your bow, nor in your target. That wind was in the environment. That wind is called interference. You have learned to accelerate. Now you have to learn to stop stepping on the brake. It is vital for your success. The great secret that self-help books forget to mention is that the universe is a zero-sum system. The formula for manifestation is not intention, result. The real formula is intention, resistance, result. If your intention is 100 units of energy, but your resistance, doubts, fears, toxic environment, is 99 units, your speed is 1. The miracle will take years to arrive, or it will never arrive at all. If your intention is 100 and your resistance is 0, the miracle is instant. Therefore, the smartest work is not to shout louder what you want, but to eliminate what prevents it. You do not need more power in the motor. You need to take your foot off the handbrake. Welcome to the fasting from interferences. We are not going to stop eating food. We are going to stop eating mental poison. We are going to identify and neutralize the 3 horsemen of the manifestation apocalypse: doubt, fear, and impatience. And then we are going to clean the ground where you live. Your personal space is sacred. Let's talk first about the internal enemy number 1, doubt. Doubt is not a prudent reflection, nor critical thinking, as your ego likes to call it. In metaphysics, doubt is a counter-intention. It is a cancellation decree. Imagine you place an order on Amazon. You click buy. The order is processed, but 5 minutes later you panic. You click cancel order. Then you calm down and order it again. Then you cancel it again. The logistics system goes crazy. The package never leaves the warehouse. That is what you do with the quantum field every day. In the morning you meditate and say, I am rich. Order sent. At noon you look at a bill and think, I'll never get out of this. It's impossible. Order cancelled. In the evening you decree again. The next day you doubt again. You are vibrating in a pattern of destructive interference. In wave physics, if you send a wave and then send the opposite wave, both cancel each other out and the result is a flat line. Silence. Nothing. The field receives zero. Doubt arises because your rational mind tries to understand the how. How am I going to heal if the doctor said it's chronic? How am I going to make money if I don't have a job? Listen closely. The how is none of your business. The how is the territory of the field of infinite possibilities. Trust the source. The intelligence that created galaxies knows how to fix your life in ways that your small brain cannot even imagine. Your job is the what you want. When you try to figure out the how, you introduce limited human logic into a divine equation, and logic will always find reasons to doubt because logic is based on the past. The fasting from interferences requires you to give up your need to know how it will happen. You have to trust the black box. You put the desire in one side, and the miracle comes out the other. What happens inside the box is divine alchemy. Do not open it or you will overexpose the photographic film. Keep it sealed. The second horseman is fear. We have been taught to see fear as a signal of protection, and it is if you are in the jungle and a tiger is chasing you. But psychological fear, fear of the future, fear of lack, fear of failure, is something much more sinister. It is inverted faith. Think about it. What is faith? Faith is the absolute certainty that something you do not see is going to happen. What is fear? It is the absolute certainty that something you do not see, a misfortune, is going to happen. The mechanism is identical. You are using your power of visualization and your emotional energy to build a scenario that does not exist and give it life. Fear is a prayer to the god of destruction. Every time you worry, you are praying for something bad to happen to you, and the universe, which is neutral and compliant, says, understood. Your faith in misfortune is great. Be it done according to your will. Fear is a high-power magnet for the negative. Reject it. The fasting from fear does not mean that you never feel fear. You are human. You have a cerebral amygdala. Fear will arise. The fast consists of not inviting fear to dinner. When the catastrophic thought arises, what if I get fired? Do not sit down to have tea with it. Do not develop the story. Stop the movie. Do not start imagining yourself living under a bridge. Cut the cable, say can, stop, or cancelled, and redirect your attention immediately. Treat fear like an annoying telemarketer. You hang up on it. You do not dialogue with it. If you dialogue, it sells you the misfortune. You must protect your mental home. The third horseman is impatience. Impatience is the killer of seeds. You plant an oak seed. The next day you go dig up the earth and say, why is there no tree yet? By doing that, you kill the seed. Impatience is a declaration of distrust. It implies that you believe the universe has forgotten you, or that it is slow. It implies that you are watching the clock. And as we saw in the chapter on time, if you look at the clock, you leave the now and enter the waiting. Waiting generates more waiting. There is a concept called gestation time. In the quantum plane, the miracle is instant. The wave collapses at the moment. It is done. But in the physical plane, matter is dense. It needs rendering time to reorganize itself. For a pregnancy, it is 9 months. To heal a wound, it is a few days. To manifest your desire, there is a time interval, the time buffer. This interval is a blessing, not a punishment. It gives you time to align perfectly. Imagine if everything you thought manifested instantly without delay. You would think of a pink elephant, and it would appear in your living room. You would think, I wish my boss would die in a moment of anger, and he would drop dead. You would live in a chaotic nightmare. The delay time gives you the chance to rectify. It gives you the chance to maintain your focus. If you are impatient, you reset the counter. If you maintain faith during the gestation time, matter finally yields and the miracle appears. The fasting from impatience is the cultivation of serene certainty. It is the attitude of the farmer. The farmer does not shout at the land. The farmer waters, waits, and trusts because he knows that the law of nature never fails. If he planted, he will harvest. You have planted. Relax. The harvest is inevitable. Now that we have dealt with the internal enemies, let's look outside. Let's talk about environmental pollution. It affects your results. You can have the cleanest channel in the world, but if you live in a radioactive dump, you are going to get sick. Your environment is programmed to keep you asleep. The matrix defends itself. When you try to wake up and change your reality, the system around you will try to pull you back down to the frequency of the herd. The first focus of infection is toxic people and skeptical friends. There is the crab bucket theory. If you put a single crab in a bucket, it will climb out easily. If you put many in, none will get out. Why? Because when one tries to climb up, the others grab its legs and pull it down. They want you down with them. Your friends, your family, your co-workers, they love you, yes, but they love you as you are. They love you in the place they know. If you start talking about miracles, quantum physics, wealth, and healing, they will feel threatened. Their ego will feel attacked because your success reminds them of their failure. They will try to protect you. They will tell you, be realistic. Don't get your hopes up. That's a cult. Life is hard. Those phrases are black magic spells. They are decrees of limitation. If you tell your dreams to small minds will dirty them with their doubt, and you will absorb that poison. Because you are still vulnerable, you will absorb that doubt and your manifestation will die. Here enters the law of hermetic silence. To know, to will, to dare, and to be silent. Of the 4 verbs of the Magus, the most important is to be silent. The fasting from interferences demands that you close your mouth. Do not tell your miracle until it is solidified. A baby in gestation is hidden in the womb, protected from light and bumps. Your dream is a baby. Do not take it out prematurely for people to judge it. Keep it in the dark womb of your silence. If you need to speak, speak with your quantum double, speak with God. Speak with mentors who are already where you want to be, but never seek validation in those who are lost. The second focus of infection is the news and the media. The news is not designed to inform you, it is designed to terrify you. The business model of the media is to sell your attention to advertisers. It is a trap. And the fastest way to capture human attention is to activate the cerebral amygdala with threats, war, viruses, crisis, murder. If you start your day watching the news, you are injecting a dose of cortisol and fear into your veins. You are calibrating your vibration with the frequency of world chaos. It is total poison. How do you expect to manifest a personal miracle if you are vibrating in tune with the collective disaster? You have to do an information blackout. Stop watching the news. Stop reading sensationalist newspapers. Silence catastrophe notifications. If something truly important happens, you will find out. Your neighbors will tell you. You do not need to monitor hell in real time. Protect your eyes and ears. They are the doors to your temple. Would you let someone throw trash bags in your living room? No. Then why do you let the television throw trash in the living room of your mind? Clean your mental house and keep the doors locked to negativity. The third focus is physical disorder, as within, so without. But also, as without, so within. If your house is a chaos, if your car is dirty, if you have old clothes you don't use, if there are broken objects, you are living in a scenario of stagnation. Physical disorder blocks the flow of energy, chi. It stops progress. Disorder sends a constant visual signal to your brain of lack of control, dirt, poverty. The fasting from interferences includes a radical physical cleaning. Throw away what is useless, give away what you don't use, clean the windows, create a sacred space. When you clean your physical environment, you feel relief. You feel an immediate mental relief. You have freed up RAM in your brain. You have made space for the new to enter. Remember, emptiness attracts. If your life is full of old junk, the new miracle cannot fit. Empty the closet so that the new clothes can come in. Make room for the greatness that is coming to you. The 7-day fasting protocol. To seal this, I challenge you to a purification experiment. During the next 7 days, you are going to live like a monk in the city. 1. News fast. 0 television, 0 news radio, 0 toxic social media feeds. Uninstall the apps if necessary. Protect your frequency at all costs. 2. Fast from complaints and drama. Stay away from people who only complain. If they call you, say you are busy. Do not participate in gossip. 3. Doubt. Diet. Every time a doubt arises, use the trigger word cancelled and immediately replace it with your decree of power. I am the one who finds. 3. Cleaning the nest. Dedicate the first day to throwing away old things and cleaning your house thoroughly. By doing this, you are cleaning the telephone line with the universe. You are eliminating the static. Suddenly, you will start to notice things. You will have more physical energy. You will sleep better. It works. Your thoughts will be clearer, sharper, and most importantly, synchronicities will start to happen fast. By removing the resistance, the cork shoots out of the water. What you had been holding down with your fear jumps to the surface. People often ask, how long will my miracle take? The answer is simple. It will take as long as it takes you to eliminate the resistance. If you eliminate the resistance today, it arrives today. The universe has no delays. You are the delay. The sun is always shining. It is your clouds that block the light. You don't have to turn on the sun, you have to dissipate the clouds. This chapter is the most difficult to apply because it requires you to go against the culture. Culture loves drama, fear, and cynical skepticism. They will call you naive for not watching the news. They will call you cold for not participating in gossip. Let them call you whatever they want. They are the ones who are asleep. You are protecting your most valuable asset, your frequency. When your frequency is clear and your resistance is 0, you are a master of reality. You are ready for the final step. In the next chapter, we will reach the peak, the awakened God. We will discover who is truly behind the eyes that read these words. Chapter 10, Quantum Gratitude, the Seal. We have reached the moment of truth. You have walked the path of the initiate. You have learned that a miracle is not an accident, but an architecture. You have aligned your mind and your heart. You have entered the now. You have decreed your will. You have cleansed your environment of interferences. The table is set for you. The banquet is prepared in the invisible realm. But one last movement is missing. The final gesture that precipitates the energy from the abstract ether to the solid earth is missing. The seal is missing. In ancient legal documents and royal pacts, nothing was valid until the king placed his ring on the hot wax and sealed the document. The seal was the mark of final authority. The seal said, "This is irreversible. This is law. Let it be done." In the metaphysics of instant miracles, that seal is not made of wax or ink. It is a specific emotional frequency, the highest and most powerful that the human body can generate. That seal is gratitude. But stop right there. I'm not talking about the gratitude they taught you in school. I'm not talking about good manners or saying thank you when someone opens the door for you. That is social gratitude, a reactive courtesy. Today we're going to talk about quantum gratitude. It is a causal force. It is an aggressive and creative force that has the power to bend time and force reality to obey. Let's analyze the fundamental difference. Conventional gratitude is reactive. It occurs after the fact. You receive a gift and then you say thank you. You heal from a disease and then you thank the doctor or God. You find money and then you feel grateful. This gratitude is logical. It is based on sensory evidence. It confirms the past. It says, this has happened, and that is why I am grateful. It is a memory record. Quantum gratitude is proactive. It occurs before the fact. It is a command to the field. You give thanks for the healing while you still feel pain. You give thanks for the wealth while your account is at 0. You give thanks for the love while you sleep alone. To the logical mind, this is madness. It is a delusion. How am I going to thank for what I don't have? The ego screams. But for the quantum field, this is the master code. Because biologically and vibrationally, gratitude is the definitive signature that the event has already occurred. Let me explain the bioengineering behind this. Your body is your subconscious mind. Your body does not know the difference between a real experience and a thought. Your body cannot distinguish between real life and an experience created through thought and emotion. When you feel genuine gratitude, not just thinking, "thank you," but feeling that opening in your chest, those tears of emotion, that sigh of relief, your body chemically interprets that the experience has already happened. You cannot feel gratitude for something that is not there. Therefore, if you feel gratitude, the body deduces, the miracle is already here. And in that moment, the body begins to change its biology to match that new reality. It begins to secrete the chemicals of healing. It relaxes the nervous system. It begins to rewrite the expression of your genes to reflect the state of health or abundance. Your body is living in the future, in the present. And here comes the wave collapse. The quantum field, which is a giant mirror, receives that potent signal of it already happened. The field does not argue with you. The field does not verify if you have the physical object in your hand. The field only reads your frequency signature, and if your frequency is, "Thank you, it is already done," the field has no other mathematical option but to deliver the event to match your frequency. Gratitude is the supreme state of reception. When you ask, when you beg, when you wait, you are in a state of not having. You are in resistance. When you give thanks, you are in a state of having. You are in acceptance. You become magnetic. Gratitude goes from being a passive act to being an act of creation. It is a tool for the gods. Look at the great masters. Jesus of Nazareth, the great metaphysician, left us the precise instruction at the tomb of Lazarus. In front of a 4-day-old corpse, in front of solid and stinking death, he did not ask, "Father, please, resurrect him if you can." He stood in authority. He said, "Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me." He spoke in the past tense. He gave thanks before Lazarus moved a finger. He sealed the pact with gratitude. He assumed that the answer was already given, and only after giving thanks he gave the order. "Lazarus, come forth." And death obeyed. This is the operating model. First the gratitude, the seal, then the manifestation. Why is it so hard for us? Because we are addicted to the senses. We want to see to believe. We want the proof before giving the emotional payment. But the universe works in reverse. It is a cycle. You must give the emotional payment of gratitude to receive the goods of the miracle. It is a prepaid system, not cash on delivery. Quantum gratitude destroys time. Time is the distance between desire and manifestation. That distance is full of doubt, of waiting, of not yet. It is a delay. When you enter into deep gratitude, you eliminate the waiting. If you are already grateful, it means you are no longer waiting. It means that on a vibrational level, the search is over. You have found it. And when the search ends vibrationally, the physical appearance is instantaneous. It must happen. Gratitude collapses the timeline. It brings the future into the present and anchors it in your heart. There is an important subtlety here. Gratitude must be unconditional. You cannot say, "I'm going to pretend to be grateful so the universe gives me what I want." That is manipulation. That is commerce. The universe smells falsehood from light years away. You cannot cheat the field. Gratitude must be born from an absolute certainty, from a faith so rock-solid that you truly feel joy for what is coming, even though your eyes do not see it. You must fall in love with your future. You must own it. You must give thanks for it because you know it is real in the quantum plane, and for you that reality is enough for now. Let's go deeper into the emotional signature. Every emotion has a frequency. Fear vibrates low and dense. Gratitude vibrates high and fast. It is light. When you vibrate in gratitude, you become light. Your energy expands. You literally become bigger than your problems. A scarcity problem vibrates at a low frequency. If you are vibrating at the high frequency of gratitude, scarcity cannot touch you. There is no resonance. You become invisible to bad luck. Furthermore, gratitude activates the brain's reward system. It releases dopamine and serotonin. It makes you feel good without an external reason, and feeling good is the #1 requirement to manifest. Abraham Hicks always says, "Feel good now." There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Gratitude is the fastest shortcut to happiness. But let's take this to the laboratory of real life. How do we apply the seal in the middle of chaos? It is easy to give thanks when everything is going well. The master reveals himself when he is able to give thanks in the middle of the storm. This is advanced alchemy. Imagine you have just been fired. Your ego panics. Your mind screams injustice. The Omega Code initiate breathes, activates the heart motor, and says, "Thank you. Thank you for this dismissal, because I know it is the sign that something infinitely better is arriving. Thank you because I have been freed from a place that no longer resonated with me. Thank you for the new opportunity that is already on the way." By doing this, you transmute the energy of the event. What was a tragic ending becomes, through the seal of gratitude, a glorious new beginning. You have rewritten the script in real time. You have forced the universe to turn that event into a blessing. You cannot lose if you play the gratitude card. Even misfortunes turn into gold when you touch them with the philosopher's stone of thankfulness. It is the secret of the powerful. The seal protocol, the daily practice. To integrate quantum gratitude into your operating system, you need a sealing routine. 1. The future journal. Every morning or every night, take a notebook. Write 3 things you are grateful for that you already have to warm up the engine. And then write 3 things you are grateful for that you do not yet have physically, but write them in the past tense, as if they had already occurred today. Example: thank you for the wonderful call I received today with the job offer. Thank you for the unexpected money that arrived in my account. While you write, feel the emotion, feel the relief, feel the surprise. By writing it, you are signing the contract. You are sealing the day. 2. The gratitude walk. When you are walking to work or the store, synchronize your steps with the word thank you. Right step, thank. Left step, you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Enter a trance of gratitude. Look at the trees and say thank you. Look at the sky and say thank you. Look at the asphalt and say thank you. Saturate your mind with the frequency of appreciation. It will change your day instantly and forever. A moment will come after 5 or 10 minutes when you will feel an opening in your chest, a sudden heat, an involuntary smile. That is the moment when your magnetic field has expanded. You have become a living magnet. Anything you think in that state flies toward you at light speed. 3. The instant seal, the response to challenge. When something happens that you don't like, apply the seal immediately. Say mentally, thank you for the lesson. Thank you for the perfect solution that is already here. Do not let negative energy settle. Seal it with gratitude and neutralize it instantly. There is an even deeper level, gratitude for existence. Beyond thanking for things like cars, health, or money, there is gratitude for being. Thank you for consciousness. Thank you for the opportunity to experience this virtual game. Thank you for the air. This is the frequency of the angels. It is pure light. When you give thanks for nothing in specific, the universe gives you everything in general. You become a vortex of abundance. People will want to be near you because they feel good by your side. Money will follow you because money energy loves the energy of appreciation. Money runs toward gratitude. There is an important warning here. Many people use gratitude as a desperate tactic. They say, I have given thanks 100 times and the money does not appear. This does not work. If you are checking for the result, you have broken the seal. You have entered into the vibration of lack again. The seal implies total trust. When you seal a letter and drop it in the mailbox, you don't stay there watching the box, nor do you try to put your hand in to take the letter out and see if it arrived. You know the postal system works. You go home and forget about it. It is done. Quantum gratitude requires letting go. Thank you, it is done. And you move on with your life. That ease, that detachment is the proof of your faith, and it is what allows the miracle to manifest. Tension blocks, relaxation facilitates. Gratitude is the supreme form of relaxation. It is peace. Think of gratitude as the enter key on the cosmic keyboard. You have written the code with your thought. You have set the image with visualization. You have charged the energy with your heart. But the program does not run until you press Enter. Gratitude is that final keystroke that sends the order. Without gratitude, the order stays in the drafts folder. With gratitude, the order moves to Sent. Medical science has discovered that gratitude increases the production of immunoglobulin A by 50%. This is the first line of defense of your immune system. Gratitude literally saves your life. Gratitude lowers cortisol levels by 23%. Gratitude increases DHEA, the vitality hormone, by 100%. Literally, being grateful makes you immune, young, and relaxed. Your body works better. Your brain works better. You have more clarity to see the opportunities that before went unnoticed because you were focused on complaining. The biological miracle precedes the external miracle. First you heal your perception, then your life heals. The virtuous circle of gratitude is infinite. The more you give thanks, the more good things happen to you. The more good things happen to you, the more you give thanks. It is an upward spiral. A point comes where your life becomes a constant explosion of blessings. You get used to the extraordinary. You wake up and say, I wonder what wonder the universe has prepared for me today. And the universe, delighted to play with someone who appreciates its gifts, surprises you every single day. You meet lost friends. You are invited on trips. $1,000,000 ideas come to you. You heal spontaneously. People will look at you and say how lucky you are. You will smile and you will know the truth. It is not luck. It is engineering. It is the seal of gratitude applied with scientific rigor. I want you to reflect on the word appreciate. In economics, when an asset appreciates, it increases in value. When you appreciate your life increases in value. When you depreciate through complaining, your life loses value. You are an investor. Where are you putting your capital? Appreciate everything. Appreciate the glass of water. Appreciate the smile of the stranger. Appreciate the roof over your head. By appreciating the small, the universe trusts you with the large. This is a law of energetic resource management. So, from today, become a gratitude fanatic. Do not stop. Do. Let thank you be your mantra. Let it be your first word upon waking and the last upon sleeping. Let it be your response to the good and to the bad. Let it be your shield and your sword. Seal every desire with a resounding and sonorous thank you. It is the most powerful word in any language. Seal your past with gratitude to release it. Seal your future with gratitude to create it. Now that we have sealed the pact, now that the order has been sent and confirmed, we enter the final phase. What do we do while we wait for the physical manifestation? Do we sit on the sofa? Do we force things? No. We enter into effortless action. We enter into the flow of the Tao. In the next chapter, we are going to discover the secret of Wu Wei. We are going to learn to move through the world without friction, guided by inspiration and not by desperation. We will learn to do less and achieve more. The miracle is already on its way. Now we are going to go out to receive it with elegance. The seal is set. The magic has begun. You are now a master of manifestation. Walk with your head high and your heart full. The universe is responding to your call right now. Trust the process. Chapter 11, Effortless Action. We have sealed the pact. The order has been sent to the quantum field. Gratitude has confirmed the receipt. And now the question arises that torments the Western mind. And now, what do I do? Social programming activates. Fear whispers to you. You have to do something. You have to fight. You have to chase it. If you don't move fast, you'll lose it. Success requires sacrifice, no pain, no gain. Stop. Breathe. Those voices are the echoes of the matrix of scarcity. They are the instructions for operating in a purely Newtonian world, where the only way to move a rock is by pushing it with the sweat of your brow until your hands bleed. But you no longer operate only in that world. You have activated the technology of the miracle. And in the world of the miracle, struggle is not a virtue. It is an interference. Struggle is the proof that you have lost the connection. Welcome to the art of Wu Wei. This is an ancient concept from Taoism that literally translates as non-action or action without action. But do not be confused. This is not an invitation to laziness. It is not sitting on the sofa waiting for bags of money to fall from the ceiling while you watch television. That is apathy, and apathy is a low vibration. Wu Wei is the highest and most efficient form of action that exists. It is inspired action. It is the real power. It is the difference between rowing against the current, effort, and unfurling the sails so that the wind carries you, flow. The rower works hard, sweats, suffers, and advances slowly. The sailboat moves fast, silent, and without effort, propelled by a force greater than itself. The secret requires you to leave the oars. The secret of instant miracles requires you to leave the oars and learn to sail. Let's analyze the physics of effort versus power. When you make an effort, you are using your limited biological energy, your glucose, your adrenaline, your muscular strength, to try to bend reality. You are operating from the ego. It is a struggle. The ego says, I have to make this happen. This attitude generates friction. It generates resistance. And worst of all, it emits a signal of distrust. If you have to force the door to enter, it is because you do not have the key. If you have to manipulate, insist, and exhaust yourself to get something, it is because it is not yours. Excessive effort is the cry of the universe telling you, this is not the way, you are blocking the path. Wu Wei, or effortless action, operates from the spirit. The spirit does not push, the spirit flows. Look at nature. The grass does not effort to grow, it simply grows. The earth does not effort to rotate. There is a principle in physics called the principle of least action. Energy always seeks the path of least resistance. Why do you, the most evolved creature, insist on taking the path of greatest resistance? Because you have been taught that the value of your achievement is proportional to the suffering it cost you. They have taught you that sacrifice is noble. I tell you, sacrifice is inefficient. The universe wants to deliver the miracle to you via the fast track, but you insist on taking the bumpy mountain road to feel that you deserve it. Effortless action is based on alignment. It is the synchrony of your whole being. When you are aligned, thought plus emotion plus gratitude, you enter a state of flow. In this state, action does not tire you. On the contrary, it energizes you. Have you ever been so immersed in something you loved that you forgot to eat and sleep, and yet you felt full of energy? That is Wu Wei. It is pure channeling. You were not working, you were channeling. The action flowed through you, not from you. So how do we apply this to the manifestation process? How do we act without forcing? The key lies in distinguishing between reactive action, fear, and inspired action, intuition. You must learn to recognize the two. Reactive action, fear, it is born from anxiety. I have to call this client now or I will lose the sale. I have to look for a partner now or I will be alone. It feels heavy in the body. There is a contraction in the stomach. There is haste. The result of this action is usually mediocre. You encounter obstacles. People shun you because they smell your desperation. It is like trying to catch a butterfly by running after it with a net. The butterfly flees because it perceives your predator vibration. Inspired action, Wu Wei. It is born from peace and certainty. You are washing the dishes, calm, and suddenly a gentle idea comes to you. I should call Juan. There is no hysterical urgency, only a quiet certainty. It feels light, it feels exciting, you make the call. Juan answers happily. It turns out Juan was looking for someone like you. The miracle happens. That is the butterfly landing on your shoulder, because you have stayed still and calm. Your job, after having made the seal of gratitude, is to put yourself in active listening mode. Do not jump into doing crazy things to help the universe. The universe does not need your help. It needs your availability. Wait for the signal. What is the signal? It is an impulse. It is an idea that repeats itself. It is a synchronicity. It is seeing a book and feeling the impulse to buy it. It is feeling like going to a specific coffee shop without knowing why. Follow those breadcrumbs. Those are the instructions from the cosmic GPS. Wu Wei requires you to develop an extreme sensitivity to green lights and red lights. Life speaks to you constantly through ease and difficulty. The traffic light theory. If you try to do something and find constant obstacles, the door is closed, the email bounces, the person does not answer, You get sick on the day of the appointment. Stop. It is a red light. The universe is telling you something. The universe is telling you, it is not the moment or it is not the path. The ego mind would say, insist, persevere, tear down the door. The master of Wu Wei says, understood, I withdraw and wait. Do not waste energy hitting a closed door. The miracle is not behind that door. Move on and stay calm. If, on the contrary, you take a step and everything flows, the person answers on the first ring, you are offered a discount. You find parking at the door. You feel joyful while doing it. Go ahead. It is a green light. Accelerate. Take advantage of the momentum. Wu Wei is the art of surfing. The surfer does not create the wave. He waits in the water attentive. When he sees the right wave, the opportunity, he paddles hard, inspired action, to get on it, and then he lets himself be carried by the immense force of the ocean. If he paddles when there is no wave, he tires himself uselessly. If he does not paddle when the wave arrives, he loses it. Timing is everything, and perfect timing is only felt when you are calm. There is a fascinating paradox here, doing less to achieve more. In the state of effortless action, your movements are minimal but precise. It is like the martial arts master. The novice throws 100 blows, gets tired, and misses. The master waits, delivers a single blow at the exact pressure point, and the fight ends. Your actions must be precision strikes. One correct call is worth more than 1,000 junk emails. One intuitive decision is worth more than 1,000 hours of logical analysis. The miracle is, by definition, efficient. How do we manage active waiting? Many people say, I am waiting for inspiration, and use that as an excuse to procrastinate. Wu Wei is not passivity. While you wait for the big wave, stay in gentle motion. Do what is in front of you. Wash your bowl, as the Zen say. Do your daily tasks with love and excellence. Keep your house clean. Fulfill your obligations. Staying in gentle motion keeps your energy circulating, which makes it easier to turn the wheel when inspiration arrives. It is easier to turn a car that is already moving slowly than one that is totally stopped. But do not force the big move. Let it come to you. Let's talk about the surrender of the how. The greatest barrier to effortless action is the obsession with controlling the process. Your mind wants to know the exact route. How am I going to get the million? Will it be through the lottery? Will it be a promotion? Will it be an inheritance? And then you try to force those paths. You buy 1,000 tickets, you flatter your boss. You are micromanaging the universe. The universe has a 360-degree panoramic view. You have a keyhole view. If you insist that the money comes through path A, you close the doors to paths B, C, D, and Z. Trust. Perhaps those other paths were faster and easier. Wu Wei implies a radical trust in the intelligence of the field. It implies saying, universe, I know what I want, the what, but I leave the logistical details to you, the how. Surprise me. When you let go of the control of the how, you relax, it is done. And in relaxation, resistance disappears, and often the solution appears where you least expected it. The miracle comes in through the back window while you are guarding the front door. The state of effortless action has a biological marker, the absence of mental fatigue. Your brain is at peace. When you force, your prefrontal brain heats up, your head hurts. You feel mental friction. When you flow, you enter what neuroscience calls transient hypofrontality. The critical and analytical part of your brain turns off temporarily. The inner critic falls silent. You become one with the task. Time disappears. This is the state of geniuses, of elite athletes, of great musicians. They are not thinking about playing the piano. The music plays them. You must live your life like a piece of jazz. You have a basic structure, but you improvise the present moment. If you miss a note, you don't stop, you integrate it. Let's go deeper into the concept of allowing. Manifestation has two phases. 1, the emission phase, asking, decreeing. 2, the reception phase, allowing. Most are experts in phase 1 and terrible in phase 2. They emit the signal, but then they close the door with their tension and excessive effort. Open it. Wu Wei is the art of allowing. It is opening your hands. You cannot receive anything if you have closed fists, clinging, control. You have to open your hands. This is scary because opening your hands means letting go of control. It means vulnerability, but remember, control is an illusion of the ego. You never had real control. The only control you have is over your vibration. The rest is divine territory. Stop trying to direct the river. The river knows where the sea is. You just have to float. The water protocol, fluidity technique. How do we practice Wu-Wei in a society obsessed with productivity? Here is a technique to recalibrate your action compass. Every time you have to make a decision or initiate an action, do the heaviness-lightness test. Close your eyes. Think about the action you are going to perform, e.g., going to that party or launching this product. Feel your body. Do you feel a subtle expansion, a lightness, a glow in your chest? That is the green light signal. It is inspired action. Do it, even if it has no logic. Do you feel a contraction, a heaviness in your stomach, a feeling of, so lazy, or obligation? That is the red light signal. It is effort. Do not do it, or do not do it now. If you force yourself to do it when it feels heavy, the result will be poor and it will cost you a lot of energy. But I have obligations, you will say. I have to go to work, even if it feels heavy. Here is the alchemist's trick. Change your perception first. If you have to do something obligatorily and it feels heavy, change your perception before acting. Do not act from heaviness. Stop. Find an angle to see that task with love or gratitude. I am going to work not because I am a slave, but because this job finances my dream. Use that energy. I am going to wash the dishes not as a burden, but as a cleaning meditation. Transmute the heaviness into lightness before moving. If you manage to change the vibration of the action stops being effort and becomes flow. Never act with reluctance. Reluctance poisons the result. It is better not to do it than to do it with poison. Wu-Wei is also the art of invisibility. When you do not force, you do not generate friction. When you do not generate friction, you do not generate enemies. The ego wants to make noise. It wants everyone to see how hard it works. Look at me, I am a martyr. The spirit works in silence, like water, which seeps under the foundations without anyone seeing it, and one day the wall falls. Be like water. Do not announce your moves. Simply flow into the empty gaps. Occupy the spaces. Adapt to the terrain. If you encounter a rock, do not fight it. Go around it. Go. Pass over it. Pass under it. Keep moving forward gently. Soft persistence is invincible. The rock is hard and rigid. Water is soft and fluid. But over time, water always wins against the rock. The instant miracle arrives when you stop getting in its way. You are the obstacle. Your effort is the block. Your need to make it happen is what prevents it from happening. Get out of the way. Let the higher power which flows through you do the heavy lifting. You are the channel, not the source. If the pipe tries to manufacture the water, it breaks. The pipe only has to be open and clean for the water to pass. When you master Wu-Wei, your life becomes magical. You become a lucky person. You arrive just when the other car leaves. You call just when they were thinking of you. People ask you, what is your secret? How do you do so much without seeming stressed? Your secret is that you do nothing. You let it be done through you. The Father who dwells in me does the works. This is the ultimate freedom. You are a co-creator in harmony with the whole. The universe is now your partner, and together you are unstoppable. Walk in peace, act in love, and let the miracles flow without end. Chapter 12. The Permanence of the State. 90% of people who manifest a radical change in their lives lose it in less than 18 months. Lottery winners return to poverty, often with more debt than before. People who lose weight with miracle diets gain it back with interest. People who find the love of their life sabotage it with irrational jealousy until they destroy it. Why? Why would the universe give you something only to take it away later? The universe does not take anything from you. You give it back. You give it back because your internal system does not tolerate success. It rejects it, like a body rejects an incompatible organ transplant. You are programmed for what is known. Welcome to the final and most important concept for your mastery, the permanence of the state. To understand this, we must speak of cybernetics and the concept of homeostasis. Your biocomputer, brain and body, has one main directive: survival. And for your reptilian brain, survival is synonymous with the known. It feels safe. Everything that is familiar is safe. Everything that is new, even if it is good, is a potential threat. You have an internal thermostat set to a specific temperature. If your financial thermostat is set to struggle and scarcity, and suddenly you receive $1 million, your system panics. A system error alarm goes off. It is too hot in here. Your subconscious, obeying the thermostat, will turn on the air conditioning to lower the temperature back to the struggle and scarcity zone. How does it do it? It will make you spend compulsively, make bad investments, or simply lose the money. You will not stop until you return to your base level. You won't stop until you return to the normalcy of being poor. The miracle is a fever. It is a deviation from your norm. And the law of homeostasis says that the system will always fight to return to the norm. Therefore, if you want to keep your miracle, it is not enough to get it. You have to reset the thermostat. You have to make the extraordinary become your new normal. This chapter is about how to survive success, because success generates immense pressure. When you level up, the light is stronger, and your shadows become darker. Imposter syndrome appears. A voice in your head whispers, "Who do you think you are?" This is not for you. It was luck. They are going to realize you are a fraud. You are going to lose it. That voice is the ego trying to drag you back to the cave. It is the gravitational force of your old identity. To combat this, the first step is radical normalization. Observe a king. He is not surprised. Does the king get surprised when he is served on gold plates? Does he get hysterically excited when he sleeps on silk sheets? No. For him, that is normal. It is Monday. If you spend your life marveling and being surprised by your miracle, you are sending a vibratory signal that it does not belong to you. Constant surprise affirms separation. It affirms, I am small and this is big. And as long as you are small and the miracle is big, the energy will tend to balance out. You will lose the miracle to return to your perceived size. You must apply divine indifference. When the miracle arrives, receive it with calm. When the miracle arrives, receive it with gratitude, yes, but also with a sovereign calm. As if you had ordered a coffee and the waiter brought it to you. You say thank you, but you don't start crying or jumping on the table. You knew it was coming. You paid for it energetically. It is yours. It's normal. It's yours. You have to cool down the emotion. At the beginning, I told you to elevate the emotion to attract it. Now I tell you to calm it to maintain it. You have to integrate the miracle into your daily fabric as quickly as possible. Yes, I have money. It's normal. Yes, I am healthy. It is my natural state. Accept it. The faster you remove the special label, the less resistance your subconscious will generate. Let's talk about the energy glass ceiling, the upper limit problem. Psychologist Gay Hendricks discovered that we all have an internal limit on how much happiness, money, and love we allow ourselves to feel. It's a cap. When we exceed that limit, we unconsciously self-sabotage to lower the level of happiness. You get a promotion, happiness rises, and the next day you provoke a fight with your partner, happiness drops. You heal from an illness, and you start worrying obsessively about politics. We are addicted to a certain level of suffering. The work of the permanence of the state consists of detecting when you are touching your glass ceiling and breaking it. How does the ceiling feel? It feels like unjustified anxiety right after a success. It feels like guilt. I shouldn't be so happy when others suffer. It feels like looking for flaws where there are none. When you feel this, stop. Recognize, I am touching my upper limit. My ego is trying to bring me down. In that moment, do the expansion of the container exercise. Breathe deeply. Feel that happiness or that abundance that scares you. And instead of contracting, say, I am safe. I deserve this. I allow myself to feel even more good. I expand my capacity to receive. Visualize that your body becomes larger, capable of holding more voltage of light. You have to train your nervous system to tolerate well-being. Just as an athlete trains to tolerate effort, get used to the light. It is your right. It is. The next pillar of permanence is burning the ships. When Hernán Cortés arrived in the New World, he ordered his own ships to be burned. Why? So that his soldiers would not have the temptation to retreat. The only option was to advance and conquer. You keep your old ships just in case. Don't do that. Don't. You keep old clothes in case I get fat again. You keep toxic contacts in case I end up alone. You keep poverty habits in case I lose the money. Those plans B are decrees of failure. They tell your subconscious, deep down, I know I'm going back. And since the subconscious is always right, you will go back. For the state to be permanent, you have to eliminate the possibility of return. Throw away the old clothes, delete the numbers, lock the doors of the past, and throw the key into the sea. You have to commit to your new identity 100%. You are not a tourist in the land of miracles. You are a resident. You have immigrated. You do not have a return ticket. This no-return attitude generates an immense psychological force. Your mind stops looking for the emergency exit and focuses on building your new life. Let's talk about the inertia of the environment. Your old environment will try to get you back. Your old friends will tell you, you've changed, and they will say it as an insult. Your internal response must be, thank you. That was the point. Do not apologize for your evolution. Many lose their miracle out of guilt or misunderstood loyalty. I don't want to leave my people behind. Do not lower your vibration. If you go down into the well to keep them company, now there are 2 people in the well. If you stay up and throw a rope, your example, perhaps they will climb up. And if they don't want to climb, it is their choice. Permanence requires you to accept the temporary solitude of the leader. Build a new circle. You will have to build a new environment. You will have to find new mirrors that reflect your new face, not the old one. The biblical concept of Lot's wife is a perfect metaphysical warning. They were told to flee the city of destruction, their past, and not to look back. Lot's wife looked back. She turned into a pillar of salt. Salt is a crystal. It is something static, frozen. Looking back freezes you. Nostalgia is dangerous. Sometimes we idealize the past. We were poor but happy. No, that is a lie of memory. You were desperate. That is why you asked for the change. Do not look back. Do not mentally revisit your old traumas. Do not tell your old war stories. Every time you tell your poor me story, you reactivate the neural networks of the victim. Let the dead bury their dead. You are a living being. Look straight ahead. The path is forward. The anchoring protocol. How do we bolt the new state to the floor? You need to create reality anchors. An anchor is a physical object or habit that confirms your new identity. If you have manifested wealth, buy something, even if small, of the highest quality. A pen, a wallet. Use it every day. That object is your totem. It reminds you of who you are now. If you have manifested health, create a physical ritual, running, yoga, drinking a special juice that only a healthy person would do, and do it religiously. These physical actions convince your animal brain that the change is real and safe, and most importantly, service. The ultimate way to keep what you have is to give. Stagnant water rots. Flowing water stays fresh. If you hold onto your miracle with fear of losing it, greed, fear, you cut the flow. You stagnate. If you share your miracle, you open the channel to receive more. If you have money, be generous. Do not give from guilt, but from abundance. I have so much that I can give. If you have health, help others. If you have wisdom, teach. By giving, you confirm to the universe, I have plenty. And the universe gives you more so you can keep giving. You become a channel, not a reservoir. Reservoirs fill up and close. Channels always have running water. The night ritual, the revision. Neville Goddard taught a vital technique to maintain the state. Every night before bed, review your day. If there was a moment when you fell from your state, you got angry, afraid, do not go to sleep with it. Rewrite it in your mind. Imagine the scene exactly as it should have happened from your new identity. Imagine you reacted with calm. Imagine you felt safe. By doing this, you neutralize the negative impact on your subconscious. You clean the record. You keep your frequency clean for the next day. Process conclusion. Look back for a moment. You started this audiobook looking for a technique to get things. You were looking for tricks to manipulate reality. I hope that, by arriving here, you have realized that the journey was never about getting things. The car, the money, the partner, the health. They are just toys. They are the excuse your soul used to wake you up. The true miracle is not what you have achieved. The true miracle is who you have become. You have become an alchemist. You have become the architect of your own experience. You have remembered that you are a fracture of divine consciousness. You are playing at being human. You are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are no longer a cork floating in the storm. You are the ocean. Now you know that there is nothing out there that is not first in here. You know that time is an illusion, that fear is a lie, and that death is not the end. You have the tools. You have the word. You have the vision, you have the heart, you have the gratitude. No one can take this from you. They can take your money, they can take your house, they can put you in a cell. But if you have this knowledge, you can rebuild your empire from scratch at any moment. Power is not in things. Power is in the generator, and you are the generator. Your life from this moment on is a blank canvas. You no longer have excuses. You can no longer say, I didn't know. Now you know. And knowing makes you responsible. Go out there and make your life a work of art. Do not settle for less than the extraordinary. The universe is holding its breath, waiting to see what you are going to order next. Do not look for the miracle. Look in the mirror. You are the miracle. The transmission is complete. The creation is yours. Go forth and shine. Conclusion: you are the event. We have reached the end of the words. The audio file is about to stop. Silence is about to return. But this end is not a conclusion, it is a trigger. During the last hours, we have traveled together through the anatomy of reality. We have dismantled the illusions of time, effort, and matter. You have the codes now. I have handed you the codes that ancient alchemists hid in symbols, and that modern physics hides in equations. Now the map is in your hands. But a map is not the territory. Knowing how fire works does not warm you. Knowing how water works does not quench your thirst. Knowledge without application is dead weight. Knowledge without application is only intellectual vanity. It is a dead weight in your brain. For this knowledge to become power, you must do something that no one can do for you. You must dare to be. From this moment on, the search is over. The seeker is an identity of lack. He who seeks affirms that he does not have. If you keep searching, you will keep affirming that you are lost. Today, declare the end of the search and the beginning of the revelation. You are no longer looking for miracles. Now, you are the place where miracles happen. You are the event. When you open your eyes to the physical world tomorrow, nothing will look different. The streets will be the same. Your problems will seem to be there, waiting like old acquaintances. People will continue to talk about crisis and fear, but you are no longer the same. Your eyes have changed. They are no longer passive cameras, they are active projectors. You see through the illusion of solidity. Where you once saw a wall, you now see condensed energy waiting for your command to reorganize. Where you once felt fear, you now feel an electrical excitement, because you know that chaos is just the raw material for your next creation. I warn you, there will be tests. The old world will try to lure you back. The inertia of the old world will try to seduce you again. There will be days when you will doubt. There will be days when you will feel small. In those dark days, do not look for the light outside. Remember that you carry a nuclear generator in your chest. Remember the now. Stop, breathe, return to the center. Remember that reality is a dense dream, and that you are the dreamer. The dreamer can never be hurt by his own dream. You are not alone. Although the path of the sovereign seems lonely, you are connected to an invisible network of awakened consciousnesses. Every time you choose love over fear, you light the way. Every time you heal your own body, you are making it easier for others to heal theirs. Your personal miracle is a service to humanity. Do not make yourself small to fit in. Shine with such intensity that you force the shadows to retreat. The universe has given you a blank check signed with infinite possibility. What are you going to write on it? Are you going to write a story of survival and mediocrity, or are you going to write a legend? The pen is in your hand. The ink is your emotion. The paper is time. Do not believe me. Do not believe a single word of what you have heard in this audiobook. Test it. Believe in your results. Put it to the test. Defy the universe. Command it with love and authority. And watch with a quiet smile as the mountains move to make way for you. The secret of instant miracles was never a technique. The secret was always you. You awake. You aligned. You remembering your divinity. The transmission is over. Your mission has just begun. Go out there and show what you are made of. The world is waiting for your next command. You are the master of your destiny, the architect of your soul. Be bold, be sovereign, and above all, be the miracle you were born to be. It is done.